So, house needs a ton of work.
Right. Anything you don't want to say, don't say anymore.
And I can't stand aliens. Damn those aliens. We should kill them all.
Which type are we talking about?
The ones from outer space, those illegal aliens that come in spaceships.
Dude, those ones are the worst kinds. They're coming here, taking our cows, and just
they're here for resources, man. They're just fucking stealing everything, taking it fucking back to their planet.
Right. Probing everything.
Yeah, I think they're the ones behind human sacrifice too. Fucking, hey, let's get the stupid fuckers, you know, to just cut their own kinds up and feed it to us. Yeah, them fuckers taste good. That's where cannibalism came from.
Those ones that they managed to turn and just get to play along with them.
And I'm having problems picking you guys up on your mic.
Up. Let me make sure that one's on. No, that's on. Can you hear this?
No.
Really?
I can hear mine. I can hear him, but he's tapping on another mic, and I don't hear that.
Okay.
I don't hear any tapping, no.
Hold on.
Yeah, he's like scratching the mic.
Oh, yeah, I didn't hear any of that. Did you guys get the one from Jason?
I just got it now.
What did yours say?
Alright, I'm going to restart this. Hold on. Just there we are.
With a picture of a necromancer and a skeleton. Yeah. I didn't think he had any minions with him.
Okay, how about now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. That's much better.
Alrighty.
Now I can turn the volume way down there.
Alright, let's see. How about some
Ambiance?
ambiance? This looks like a good ambiance. I'm using Sword Coast Soundscapes. This is the Ruins of Berez under their Curse of Strahd series. Well, that's like a swamp.
That is a swamp. That would have been perfect for the swamp area.
Well, I don't want a swamp.
No.
Let's try.
I want a reverb. Alright, we're in a fight.
Let's try this.
I don't think anybody would use to see it, Scott.
Well, but no, just try going for sound. All right. Anyway, so this is episode 61 of the World of Skell-Agile Epics. We got Brian Brown in the chat. He must be at work, getting ready to go home. And we let's see.
Way that I can make it where the ambiance comes in clear over video, but it would have to be recording from the same computer that's making the sound. Because there's a way that when you're recording.
Oh, I'm sure there's a way.
Yeah,
There's a way to do all kinds of things.
Yeah, and I know mostly how to do it, but I'd have to mess around with some things, and you'd have to be playing it from the same computer that you're recording from.
Because there's other streams I've seen where they're Spotify right through.
Right.
All right, but anyway, let's see if there's anything here I need to be aware of.
No.
Apparently not.
It's just shenanigans.
Okay, so no. Let me switch this over to vibrate. Okay, so the group, the Savage Six, has recently went through the Grave Maze, a huge series of corridors made of this black rock. And in these corridors, sometimes they dead end. Sometimes you can make a left turn or a right turn. You know, everyone here knows how a maze works. And they've encountered creatures and mostly things that want to kill them. Mostly things that they may have encountered in a previous existence of this place that is not still there. And in the last game, they met up with one of the guides that throughout this entire adventure has shown them the way, sometimes in a slow fashion, but slow and steady. A anthropomorphic turtle form of life, affectionately referred to as the Shellkin, or Shelly. And recently one of these Shellkin reunited Ein with his friend, the tree branch. The tree branch known as John. And John and Ein have conversations, and everyone else thinks that Ein is insane. But
Hey, he's insane.
whether he is insane or not, or it's all in his imagination, there is no confirming any of it. But John, through Ein, has provided information that has helped to varying degrees, and has agreed to stick with Ein until this adventure is concluded. The branch now appears to be a flat crystalline structure versus looking like an actual live branch, which we have a drawing of somewhere.
Which is very terrible.
After that, the characters encountered, this is the terrible drawing of the branch, but it gets the point across. The characters then encountered a member, someone who used to be traveling with them, someone named Bulba Rafkin. And Bulba Rafkin, like Ein, is a psionicist. And his primary focus, if you will, was on time travel. And Bulba Rafkin offered the group information about the future in exchange for not attacking him. He even offered up the information without forcing them to say they would not attack. All his only response was, if the information isn't good enough, then I guess you can do whatever it is that you want. And the information was that this meeting that they were going to, as they escort Count Strahd to meet with the zombie lord, Dorbengast, was that the meeting would start off well, but then Dorbengast would ask for something that the Savage Six would not give up, and Strahd would be disgusted and leave, and no agreement would come to fruition. The members of the Savage Six carried on and later had an encounter with an earth elemental, and Waldor was able to cast a spell and make it his thrall. And now Waldor has a large bug-type creature carrying a dead person on its back as one of its as one of his things that he can control, and an earth elemental. And these are them there. And eventually Shelley led them out of the maze. And when they got out of the maze, some of the people saw a beautiful landscape of flowers and trees and bunny rabbits, and other people saw a desolate wasteland of gravestones and empty graves. A short time later, the beautiful vision wore off, and all were aware that they were now in the Deadlands, and that all of the empty graves they could see as far off in the distance as they can see were probably once for all of the zombies that they saw in one of the corridors in the grave maze. And as they continued along the path, they encountered some Ganymedes, some of Waldor's species. They appeared to be like uncivilized and had homemade weapons and were shaved down to nothing. And as they called out, recognizing Waldor and calling him traitor, a voice from behind them said, "Where are y'all going?" And that is exactly where we stopped. So, if anyone has anything they would like to add to the recap or clarification, you may ask now. Otherwise, we'll begin. And I see that Volmir has joined us.
Hello, hello.
So we're just basically waiting on Randy, and he's delivering something with the water department, and then he'll be here pretty soon. So, does anyone need any other information?
I say, who's this guy?
Okay.
I missed everything.
Well, you're out of the maze.
Okay, cool.
You should be aware that you encountered, not you specifically, but the group encountered Bulba Rafkin, who gave knowledge of the future in exchange for not being attacked ever again. And the knowledge was that this meeting with Dorbengast would start off well but end terribly.
Because you won't want to give up your baby. And I don't want to give up his rock.
John, he doesn't want to give up John.
Thank you for calling him by his name.
I thought it was something else.
John Kane?
Yeah,
you don't
him
remember?
name something else.
John is now like pure crystal.
But we still call him
Go
Twig.
John.
And John has made it clear that he would like to be called Gavon.
Gavon, yeah. And I made that clear myself to all of y'all. His new name is Gavon. Thanks
All
for
right.
reminding me. Almost forgot.
So, the voice rings out. It is now, as the voice rings out, the very fast acting Gonomies all seem to just stand their ground as if they are either waiting for something or perhaps they've readied their action for something else, but they are not attacking. You heard the voice ring out that I said sounded like raspy, and now we go to the winner's side of fast. So, all of the Gonomies are right up here. And let's get some battle music.
Is there a special slam winkle behind us, or?
Oh my God, there's Lisa Kaloran. Hi, Lisa. Welcome.
Hello.
Welcome to Nerdville, Lisa. Pull up a chair and stay a while. Okay, so I gotta find some. Of course, I don't want to start the battle music until somebody throws the first punch. So, I don't know if you guys remember what your actions were, but
I thought we ended it as soon as we heard the voice, is what that
I didn't know we rolled initiative.
Yeah, we didn't roll initiative, and from what I remember...
we did roll initiative, but that's that's okay because it's going to achieve the same thing. So, does anyone on your side wish to do something?
I look to see where that voice came from.
All right, so you turn around and you're up front and you need to make a perception check.
I'm Ken.
34?
Okay, so 34?
34.
Okay. I will tell you if you see something. Hold on.
Yay, percentile.
Okay. Standing, sort of like, you notice a figure next to well, I got a whole bunch of these, so it's not going to matter. I thought I did. Hold on. There it is. Okay. So back here, you see a figure at this gravestone.
Gotcha.
Okay.
That was the one that yelled out.
You can assume so. You don't see anybody else there. Go ahead, Kelf, cast your spell.
Mighty Gahoon, heal these wounds and close my bloody wounds. Grant me your healing. And I cast Cure Serious on myself. For 7 points.
And Cure Serious, if I remember right, is 2d8 plus 1?
Correct.
Okay. All right, so roll it with advantage.
Very good. Yeah, that's much better. 15.
All right. So you all start to hear Kelf speaking in Elven. Those of you that can speak Elven, you understand what he said. Those of you that don't, okay. All you hear is the melodious Elven speech, and you see that he puts his hands upon himself, and that healing glow that you recognize happens, and you see his appearance sort of clean up a little bit as he doesn't look nearly as damaged. Okay. Anybody else on your side? Gaspar.
Yeah. Hey.
Gaspar moves behind the bug, like he said. Yes, Waldor?
Where am I at?
You're up here by Kelf in front of the bug, but behind the front line guys.
Is that you, Raspy?
Do you turn and look?
Yeah, I'm gonna look around.
All right. Roll your observation.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
32.
All right. You see the same thing that I described that Ian sees. Is that all?
Yeah.
All right. So there appears to be a little bit of a stalemate right now. The figure back here behind, next to the gravestone, says, "Where do y'all think you're going?"
I say, we have a meeting.
Meeting with who?
The king.
Ain't no king here. This is the Deadlands, boy. The only king you're gonna meet here is the king of eternal night. You going to sleep forever. And then being used even longer than that. If that's something you want, you come to the right place.
Then how is it that the economies have lasted for so long?
You ain't in no position to ask no fucking questions. Why are you here?
We have a meeting.
Bullshit.
I'm just trying to
Do you
figure
guys
out.
know this fella?
Yes, maybe.
Well, shut him up and let's get moving.
Oh, we got a tough guy here, huh? Why don't you come over here and try and shut me up then?
What's your problem?
I didn't have a problem till you opened your big fat fucking floppy-eared mouth, you piece of shit. Come on over
You're
here.
walking through. You're the
Brother
one that
Cal.
stopped us.
Brother
And I
Cal.
do walk with you.
All right, how close do you get?
I walk right up to him and I say, "You're the one that stopped us.
Okay.
So ask your questions and let's get on with
Is
it."
anyone else doing anything while that's happening?
If I see him walk up,
Nope.
I calmly try to approach and stay back a little bit. But I stay back like 20 feet. To not, I'm basically trying to be as non-threatening as I can.
Okay. Do you try to touch him?
No.
All right.
I am.
So there, now you're 20 foot back.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
Do I see anything better now that I'm closer?
Looks like one of these economies that's all shaved clean and
But it just sounds like that voice.
yes. So he looks up at you, Kelp, and he hasn't backed down an inch, and he's looking up because you're taller than him.
I say, "Is there some toll we must pay or a riddle? What is this game?"
Yeah, there's a fucking toll. Tell me something. How do you expect to go to a meeting when you all's lip dicks? And he puts his hand out, and he's kind of like leaning on the gravestone right next to him.
Yeah.
Huh? Answer the fucking question, you impotent
I don't-
pieces of shit.
I don't understand your question.
We are being led there by another king. They wish to meet and take down forsooth.
Man, you guys are totally no fun. Fuck, 1,000 years, You turn into a bunch of cocksucking pussies.
Is that you, Raspy?
You're goddamn right it is.
How the fuck are you still alive?
Hold on. Where's that white-haired freak?
I look around.
She's
I'm
back
like,
there.
You're back here, Volmir, so you gotta turn and you look and he's like, you see it's Raspy and he's like, come over here.
Raspy got a beard, right?
Yeah.
Used to.
Come on.
I start walking.
You walk, how close do you get?
I just get up to him.
He's like, hold on. Stay away from that gravestone. Come over here to the other side. You do that?
Yes, yes I do.
Okay. He looks up at you, Kelp, and he's like, God damn. What the hell happened to you all?
I back out of. I take a step back and let them have their reunion.
Right. And he says, Where's Ein? Where's Garrett?
I walk forward. Get closer.
Okay.
And yeah, Garrett would probably be a stand. I don't know.
Garrett walks up. And he's like, well, I'll be a son of a bitch. There you are. Where's the one that's missing? Guy thinks he knows everything and is stupid as shit.
He's no longer with, my brother is no longer with us.
It's a shame. Bound to happen though. You gotta be smart. And he looks at Garrett and he says, so, you like my trap?
Oh shit. I'm like, oh fuck.
I knew you'd all come, but I knew the only way you'd believe is if you saw me do something that I did before. You see this grave? Where's that fucking turncoat piece of shit Waldor? Hey, priest thief! No good rotten idiot fuck! Get up here!
I casually roll over.
He's like, you want to see something? Garrett, give me that spare. So Garrett gives him the spare.
Yeah, it's
You see Waldor put his hand on the gravestone and hold the
Raspy.
spear. Raspy, yeah. What did I say?
Waldor?
No. Okay. And see him go, go on now, get! And just for a second, you see this weird, strange, bluish energy come out of the grave, go through Raspy, and Raspy's like, oh yeah! Who's your daddy? And then it goes over into the spear, and he's like, he holds it up in front of him. I told you! Your shit don't work on me! Here you go, Garrett. Garrett takes it back, and you see him and then he kind of smiles, and he's like, thank you. So, congratulations on the rest of you making it this far. When are you going to drop that kid?
I wasn't planning on it.
You know what I mean. You look like you're about to burst, sweetie.
Getting close.
Now, Waldor, are you still a piece of shit, or did you learn anything in 1,000 years?
I never really thought I was a piece of shit, but
Yeah, pieces of shit don't think they're pieces of shit. That's why we lock them up. Ain't that right, Garrett? Okay, so obviously you still are.
We're here with Vertigons, or as he's now known, Count Strahd.
Yeah, I know.
And we're here to meet
I'm
the
aware.
Lord.
I just had to make sure you all was who you said you were. Been lots of imposters on the time claiming they was the Osnon and could do this and could do that. Now, who's this new son of a bitch? He's pointing at Kel.
Oh.
I am Kel.
Well, Gesundheit. Who are you?
Welcome to Mutu.
Don't lose your nerve now.
He's here to protect her and grab the crown back.
He's here to protect Chi. Well, since when did she need being protected?
No idea. But he's
Only
here
one
for
that
the crown.
needed being protected was the guy, and then he kind of looks over and he's like, "Oh, so I guess you two broke up."
I let out a menacingly of a laugh as I can. There's Garrett.
Check me out. I've never seen that before.
Yeah, that's weird as heck. That is weird.
Not that
as
it's bad.
heck. Right.
Garrett? Okay. I will let the players fill Garrett in on what he just missed. So,
remember at the last we got stopped and we heard a voice that sounded like raspy?
Right?
Well, it is raspy. We all got called over. We're talking with him, and he asked for your spear. You gave it to him, and he had his hand on the grave stone that he's next to, and all at once we saw a blue energy come out of the grave into him, and then to the spear. And then he kind of looked at the spirit and said, "I told you that shit don't work on me," and handed it back to you.
Right on.
And he basically said it's the only way that it would be for sure to get us to come here and talk with him is to take away your friend.
Oh, okay.
But we now have it back, I think.
Where does he tie into where we're at?
We don't know yet.
Okay.
We're still talking. I asked him how he's been alive, and he just kind of... Yeah, we walked out of the maze, and it was into a trap, and he even asked you, "How do you like my trap?"
Is he alive or?
No, he's alive.
all right. So,
He's the same. He looks the same as the others. It's completely shaved, but it's raspy.
Cool.
so you're here to talk to Dorbengast, huh? Vertigons ain't to be trusted. Don't you remember what happened in the courthouse?
Yeah.
Where is the son of a bitch? Where is he hiding?
Is he?
Nope,
Did he walk
not
out?
back yet.
He flew off during a fight.
No, wait, he's there.
Oh, he is? Yeah.
But when you look, you don't see him.
He's right behind you.
He's here somewhere. We walked out with him.
Vertigons! What are you playing at? As long as I'm sheriff. Just echoes kind of hollowly in this area with all of the stones and the grave.
You're still the sheriff?
Hey! I'm good at it. And you know what else I'm good at? Getting our people a new home after you fucking destroyed it. You're lucky I don't come over there and knock your fucking dick in the dirt right. I don't give a fuck how many of your friends you got protecting you. If I tell them to stand aside, I'll whip your ass, boy. So I took all the people that was left after that goddamn worm thing came into the fucking tunnels and tried to eat them all. And went the only place we could. To the people that helped us before you all fucking ruined it. So guess what? We work for Dorbengast now. That's what we got. That's how we survived. All thanks to you. Our beautiful, idyllic life, city, skyships. And you brought it all down.
So how come you didn't rebuild then?
Oh my fucking God. Somebody slap the fucking stupid out of his mouth, please.
Because Forsooth now has it all, and that's where his home base is. Am I wrong, Raspy?
Well,
And the worm. Don't know about the worm, though. Don't know
nah.
what that's about.
The worm's the evil part of our nature. And he released it. Just like those other 3 fucking priests that he rose, that he got rid of.
Can we kill them a time?
Well,
I'd like to kill them.
They're working. Now, if you're wondering how we all can still be alive, well, I made a deal. And you see him reach up and put his hand on his face, and as he pulls down, you see shit come off, and you see his eyes are milky white, and his fucking teeth are all fucked up, and he's obviously a zombie. And he says, "There's prices to be paid, and I paid him." And then he kind of pushes it all back up and turns around, ducks under the tombstone, then comes back, and he looks like himself. And he says, "So you don't ever say shit to me about what I done or what I did for these people."
You did what anybody would do. Protect your people, continue on living.
What Dorvingast does with you is his business. Just like before. I ain't the one that runs this place. But if you try to destroy our world a second time, them weapons ain't gonna save you. And Garrett, as much as I think of you as a long-lost brother from a mother that must have been a big fat-ass son of a bitch, the same goes for you. I'll kill you with love. You savvy?
Works both ways.
Now, is there anything else you want to ask me, or should we get going and see the big boss man?
I think I'm good. I'm ready.
Strahd, come fucking out, asshole. This ain't your territory. Just then you see Strahd kind of reform right here out of a mist.
Is he in the middle there?
That's Gaspar.
Oh, that's Gaspar.
He's got to be here somewhere.
Yeah, you did something with him again. Lost the figure.
Too many figures on the table.
Like you always do.
But
Is
anyway,
this him? No. No.
but that'll be him. So Gaspar's like, what's going on? Raspy's like, oh look,
Yeah, there's a new one.
look at that guy hiding over there amongst the rock man and the bug horse. What do you got to say for yourself over there? I'm just a professor. Well then be quiet, professor, and learn. Unless you think you got something important to say, be quiet.
From our limited interaction, he likes to sit back and study.
That's good. Maybe you ought to be writing this shit down. And Gaspar says,
I will, thank you.
I will. Thank you. So he says, he says, Strahd, walk with me. Up front, you need to be escorted. The rest of you can catch up or not as you see fit. And Raspy just kind of walks through the group, unless someone wishes to accost him.
Nope.
And he
Does he move like a zombie, or is he agile?
Make me a perception check, please.
15.
He appears to be a Ganami. And he will walk up front, and they will all form in with the other Ganamis providing an escort.
All right, so hey, kind of, while that's all going on, I'm watching him intently to try to figure, especially after he said he was a zombie, I'm watching him intently to try to determine if he's really a zombie or is he something else. Or maybe some hybrid form of zombie. So I'm just going to keep watching him closely.
So did the other Ganamis basically perform like a wall between those two and the rest of us?
They're just following, formed up behind him.
Okay. I would like to get, if I could, follow or be on the side and walk next to that one, like right there. I will try to, and if I get told not to, then I just kind of follow back here.
Okay. Make me a charisma check with disadvantage.
Wow.
That looks like a natural 1 and a natural 20.
No, it's a 7 and a 20.
Okay, well what's the 7 get you?
18.
Okay. So
Why can't I just...
as you kind of start to walk up there, this one here like turns around and goes,
And then I follow behind him.
okay. Does anyone else have any specific place in line they want to be?
What did that guy say?
He said, stay back and know your place.
I'll walk in the gas bar.
All right, so we'll just put you in the second line here. Anybody else?
I'll walk next to Garrett 9.
Garrett, you up front?
Oh, all right.
Yes.
So I'm gonna go up behind Gaspar and Kel,
Okay.
and I'm gonna try to fill these guys in. All right. So
Well, while you're doing that, I'm getting a glass of water, so proceed.
okay. So here's what you guys need to know: is Raspy with the economy from back when my civilization, this is before I existed even. So back at the dawn of, I guess, the height of our civilization, there was like machines and everything. So, I mean, we had like these things you could step on and it would carry you around. There was these flying airships. They had armor they would hide in and move around and fight with. But when we left, the zombie lord that we're gonna go see, yeah, he came in and laid waste to everything.
Rasmus seems to think that you unleashed the evil that laid waste.
Well, so me and Garrett tried to clean the place up from all the bad things. And in doing so, we sat months. What? For months. So we killed one of Stroud's vampire underlings. And that set a whole chain of events in motion. So the student went crazy and attacked them. And that sparked a war. He was originally the one who was bargaining this peace treaty where people who died, or diamonds that would die, could be brought back as basically undead slave labor. So, and that's how the city stayed running. Things kept being built, stuff kept getting fixed. Well, when we were leaving, the arch evil god, Oodler of the Galanese, came in, and I don't know if the zombie ward called him or what, but yeah, I seen it tunneling through the ground and going after it. I mean, there ain't no way to fight. I mean, I'm just here to follow. So, Aaron said we're leaving, so we left. And there was nothing I was going to be able to do. So, he's not very happy with us.
I can sense that, yeah. He made that pretty clear.
Somehow, everybody keeps thinking I traded my race somehow. I tried to get them to fight, you know, and then when we realized there was no fighting, I tried to get them to go to the tunnels to hide, but...
So you only triggered the events that led to their demise.
We killed the guy. Well, technically, when we showed up, the events that triggered their demise happened then. When we were teleported into that time period. That's what started everything. It was almost like we were moved into a static deck. It was like, no matter what we do, they were going to fall.
This whole premise of time travel is unnatural.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, they were going to, obviously they weren't going to be around, and because in the future where I came from, you know, the civilization had already collapsed.
There he is.
And there was something else built on top of it. So,
Calf, I have a question.
whether it was us or destiny or whatever you want to call it.
Now you guys, all the characters, you can all hear this conversation, so if you want to add anything, go ahead. I have a question for you, Master Calf.
Go ahead, I'm listening.
If you walked into a home and saw a bunch of zombies coming at you, what would you do?
I would most likely punch first and ask questions later.
Thank you. That's all I had.
Oh yeah, I forgot. In the time period where we're talking about, somehow we were supposed to magically know that undeads had rights and didn't just kill people outright. However, the house we went into apparently was Cthulhu's original house.
His family, yeah. That's right. I forgot about that.
And he had a whole bunch of stuff stashed in there. Which I don't know what happened to that, and I winked at you.
And is this the home that you burned down?
No, we did not burn it down. The Ganami suit of armor burned it down when it overheated.
Yeah, it caught fire somehow. I guess.
I have no idea how it caught fire. All I know is it caught fire and the entire house burned down. It was not our fault. We had
it started blowing white hot. They ran upstairs screaming and yelling. Next thing you know, the upstairs is on fire.
Yeah, your body language tells me there's a little more to the story.
That's pretty much it, actually.
I wouldn't take it at face value.
Well, that was a short version.
Hold on. Go ahead, Garrett. You're having a hard time getting in. He's showing that his hands.
Well, I'm just saying, look, no matches.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, Dan.
So, if you might heard the long, extended, drawn-out version, I can tell you that this is
Well, I don't need to be more than a component of your spell, but I've seen spells that can hit metal.
Well, I can do that now. I couldn't do that back then.
I never saw him do anything.
I'm not here to judge.
I'm not saying you're being judgmental.
I think that we need to consider the Boba Rathkins, the future that he has seen will somehow come about in a similar fashion.
Oh, it will. We just have to
And
change our
you
decision.
guys need to discuss what you're going to give up when the time comes,
Hey, Garrett.
because we must continue with this quest and get to pursuit.
Garrett,
Yes.
how much you want to bet that you got to fight Raspy? We said that his champion had to fight our champion. How much do you want to bet you got to fight Raspy?
If that's the champion, then it happens.
So, like I stated before, every time period we go into, it's like playing against the stacked deck against us. So I expect no less this time around.
If that's the case, then Raspy must not be aware that he's going to have to fight you, or it seems unlikely he would have restored Skin Pearson's soul.
Raspy's a fair man. Raspy is a fair man. He's not
He is.
evil.
So what do you think of Raspy Volmir?
Alright, what'd you say?
What do you think of Raspy Volmir?
Honestly, I'm not sure.
Well, he definitely wanted to talk to you guys. He
Yeah.
stopped us and made a big scene to let you know that he was here.
I mean, he's
I
definitely
think he
up
was
to something.
sizing. Go ahead.
He's definitely up to something. He always is.
I think he was sizing us up to see, you know, if he's the champion or working for the zombie lord,
Orgons.
he's definitely was going to.
Well, he showed great power in restoring the soul of the magic weapon.
It was
That is
his
what
trap.
happened, isn't it,
It
Garrett?
was his trap.
Crap. I think the world of Raspy. Can you help me out? I returned the favor. We cleaned up the town.
I can barely hear you.
Sorry. I think the world of him. He helped me out. I helped him out. We cleaned up the town we were in. We got rid of some bad elements. But it's not like I can stay there forever. It's not like any of us can stay there forever. He knew that from the very beginning.
I mean, we didn't belong there. I mean, it's like when you guys go back to your time, I ain't gonna belong there either, but where I'm gonna go. And I never look back, always move forward.
Well,
There you go.
when it comes to Waldorf, you helped us out. I will help you get to wherever you need to go.
Okay. How about we start with, since we haven't seen her in a week or two, Balmir, roll me a d12. You're out of practice.
It's not going to be good. Already going off table.
That can't be.
9.
9. Okay, that can't be good. All right. So, any other conversation happening here, or do you guys just go ahead and walk?
Just the mental thing between Skin Piercer and myself.
Okay. What are you discussing?
Just Gladys back, find out what happened while he was away. Find out if he was mistreated.
Somehow I was put back in the vault. What does that mean?
I don't know.
And Raspy said he made the trap. He needs to die.
I think that's what's going to come to.
Are you going to be able to kill him?
I think that he's their champion.
What if he's not?
Then he'll get in the way and he's going to have to die anyway. We know what our goal is.
Someone who can create a trap that can put me in the vault, they need to be destroyed, regardless of what we're going for, because I don't want to go back.
And I will do my best to make that not happen again.
Why don't you ask one of the others to do it?
I don't know if they have it in them.
You'll forgive me if I want to believe that you can kill someone that you call a friend. Will you be able to convincingly lie yourself to assassinate him?
To reach the goal I have to reach, hey, yes.
As long as we're being honest, how many will you kill to achieve what you need to do?
That number, I'm not sure what it is, but it'll be what it takes.
I had a long time to think over the past couple days in the vault. And you've really come a long way. And I must admit, I'm proud of the ruthless assassin that you've become. I think that with the proper motivation, you would kill your own parents and your own baby. And if I could, I would kiss you on the mouth.
I take that as a compliment.
You all hear
I just-
Garrett laughing.
I was hoping you'd say that.
Okay, so,
Oh, wait. I was waiting for him to finish.
all right, go ahead.
So I go up to Garrett. And Garrett, I have a question for you.
Yes?
You couldn't ask that spear of yours if he knew how to use this bow, or if they can communicate with each other.
I can definitely ask.
Because I don't know how to damage people with this weapon, because it was never relayed to me. And the weapon doesn't want to talk to me. So I'm kind of at an impasse.
Okay.
Did
Well,
brother ever?
I'll reach out to Skin Piercer and I'll ask him what he knows about the other weapons, especially the bow. And if the other weapons can communicate.
Hold on, one at a time. Talk to me like I'm your real friend, not some thing.
Are the others lucky enough that the weapons will communicate with them as you do I?
I am the smartest. I am the one gifted with the ability to communicate in ways that other life forms can understand. They communicate with feelings and visions and things like that.
Do you know how the other weapons work?
I only know the results. I don't know. From what I understand, they're like anything. They have to be learned, and I am not what you would call something or a thing that would use another weapon. So,
Okay, I guess the last question I have would be, when the time comes, is there something that unites the four weapons as one, to become more powerful with one another?
only how the four Osnan work together. But if you're asking, do the weapons have the properties of Zinro, the answer is no.
Well, I know the others are confused. They're not as lucky as I. They can't have a conversation like I can. They can't have the feelings like I have, which sucks to be them.
Only one may lead. Others will follow.
Right? I just wasn't sure if the other weapons was as capable as you were.
Well, it depends on your definition of capable. If you're talking about dealing damage, all are unique. Therefore, they're all very capable.
And, well, since you brought that up, I looked over towards Waldor and I said, he understands the healing parts of that weapon. He does not understand the damage part. And he doesn't know how to do that yet.
I would think that whatever he thinks about or feels when he heals, he should feel the opposite. Seems very simple. Even the one that is no longer with you figured it out.
Right? That makes sense. So, all I know is when the time comes, if the sheriff has to die, he dies.
Make that sooner than later, please. And just because my special abilities may not be able to affect him or those of his kind, does not mean that a cold stab in the dark will not do enough damage.
Cup.
Do you understand, Garrett?
I do.
You have a question?
Yes. Because I can't remember. I know that Ein and Zero talked about the bow, but I can't remember if Zero actually told me how he used the bow. Would that be something that I could roll for, or?
Well, I don't remember him ever doing it, so.
Okay. I didn't put anything in my notes, so I guess probably not. Because Chris knows how, but Ein doesn't. And I was trying to remember if Ein was told at some point.
Not that I'm aware of.
Alright.
Okay, anything else?
Do you relay any of that to me?
I relay it all to you.
Okay. So I guess while we're walking, I'm going to take the bow out, and I will point it away from the front of the party, and I'll try thinking hatred, death, destruction, and see if I can't get anything to form in the bow that way.
So you just have to explain to me what you're actually doing with with the bow?
So before, like, I would think empathy and try to pull the bow back to use it to heal. So now I'm going to think like hatred and try to pull it back and see if it doesn't work that way. And if that doesn't work, I'll think like death or envy or,
Okay.
various
So,
negative.
You're walking and you pull this bow out and you start having these thoughts, and do you actually attempt to fire the bow?
Yes, away from the group.
Okay. Roll a, yeah, okay. You're having these thoughts and you feel like your thoughts are like there's a little tickle in the base of your brain, but then as you go to fire the bow, and just away from the group, nothing changes.
Okay. But something happened that didn't happen before when I tried to use it, correct?
Sure.
You said I feel a tickle in my brain.
I
so
did.
It felt like something was maybe trying to happen, but there was nothing there for it to happen. So, do I remember what thought it was? Was it hatred, or was it death, or was it envy, or was it?
Nothing specific stands out.
Okay. All right.
Ooh, nice cake reference. Sorry, I just found
All right, so you all continue to walk for a while, and then as you start to go around a hill, you see a very large plantation-style dwelling, but it looks as if it is in poor shape. It's got a second story. It's probably 60 feet long across the front. It's got a long balcony that extends over the top of the first floor and goes into the building by several doors. A lot of the shutters, I'm not done yet. A lot of the shutters are hanging off or busted off. There appears to be a hole in the front left corner of the roof. There's tattered hanging wall window treatments from the inside. The front door appears to be half on its hinges. Part of the porch that overhangs on the first floor looks like it's bowed in as if it's not safe to go underneath. The porch itself appears to be darker in some spots than others, indicating rot and decay. There are several pillars holding up the porch, the top layer, and one of them is actually snapped off and hanging from the top, but the bottom part's missing. And it's like the first post is on the corner, and then the second post is the one that's only got the top part, and then the third and the fourth. And milling around this building, apparently with nothing better to do, appear to be 20 to 30 zombie children being attempting to be corralled by some type of matronly looking undead individual with this dark hair, stringy eye. One eye's milky white and the other one's red. It looks like it's bleeding. Sharp teeth, huge fangs and claws, a tattered dress, and as you all approach, they all the kids kind of scatter like water bugs, and she kind of corrals them and takes them around behind the building. Off to the left, there appear to be skeletal horses and pigs in a pen, and off on the right, there appears to be undead chickens pecking at a hard scrabble landscape of no vegetable matter, but continuing on as if they were on a program, as if they were still alive.
Does one of them not have a head?
Roll a perception check.
32.
They all appear to have skulls.
Damn it.
So does it look like the inn where we killed Tristan?
No, much larger.
Does this look like the hill that we walked around to get to the Gonomy town? And more like the...
No.
Okay.
This hill that you kind of came around, it's a lot smaller than the hill of Annam.
Gotcha.
And Raspy's like, okay, everybody, just hold on right here. I'm going to go inside and make sure everything's okay. Dorban Gas has been expecting you. And he walks off.
Hey, does that woman, does the woman creature remind me of Raspy's daughter like you?
No, this person is a lot taller, but it does remind you of a certain former homeowner who was only a flying head, but apparently now has a body.
I wait.
So while you're there, the Gonomies are just kind of there. They look like they're like starting to lose interest, and it's like, oh, okay, nothing has changed with them. They're all kind of hanging out and talking and not even paying attention. Stride kind of walks back to the group, and he says, Raspy seems a little excitable. Is that...
Yes, he did.
Is that the way he was when he was with you, Duguid and Garrett?
High strung, I'd say, yes, but he's not to the point of annoying.
Do you believe there's actually any of Raspy in that undead husk of a thing?
No.
Then how is it that the mannerisms are almost exact?
The last town we were in, we came across people who, if you looked at them, if you spoke to them, they seemed exactly like my parents. They looked exactly like my parents. But the things that they did were not even close to what my parents would have done. But the voices, the looks, everything was the same. So there's strange things that go on. Not everything that you see is not exactly what it seems.
It's obviously we're looking at the power from necromancy.
Strahd looks at Volmir and looks at Ein, because you two are standing next to each other, and he says,
I kind of bow him a little bit.
I don't care if one of you decides to give up whatever it is that Dorban Gast might want. I don't care if you decide you don't want to give it up, because I've thought of something different to do if it comes to that. I don't wish to
That is good.
I don't wish to discuss it here and now, but if we get a chance later, I'll want us all to meet up again, possibly after this initial meeting. I'm assuming we'll be here for a while. But anyway, be on your toes. This place, there's absolutely no way any of us will know. I can't imagine what kind of things are around the corners of this place. because just the fact that there is a building here is surprising. Because from what I remember of Dorbengast, he hated being anywhere near any resemblance of what was once civilization.
While he's saying that, I pull out the eye and I start looking around with it.
Make a perception check.
Oh, that's a 30, right?
It is?
Intelligence on a 30.
He's rolling on his tool chest.
No, I'm rolling on actually a silver tray.
Oh, fancy.
Right?
Oh,
He pulled out his...
22.
22 total?
Yeah.
Okay. So you get out the eye and you kind of look around, and for 15 feet in every direction, you don't see anything invisible.
Okay.
Or anything that's an illusion.
All right.
Okay.
My count.
Who is...
What is Dwarvengast? Like,
I did not know him because I didn't associate with those people long ago. So the information is scarce at best. What I do know is that at some point he was the commander of the forces of the humans that went to fight in the last Great War. And I know that that army was decimated.
by Forsooth, correct?
I'm not sure.
Or the witches. That was the war that had the witches versus Annam. And Annam brought an end to it all. So we're told.
I have my own opinion on it, but I have no facts. I think that Dorbengast is just a... If you wish to be consistent, he would be just another thing that Forsooth made out of the leftovers.
I wouldn't doubt it. I've seen it done.
It is no secret that if I choose, instead of killing and eating the cattle, I can make them follow me and give them everlasting life. Perhaps Dorbengast is the opposite of that coin. Instead of killing whatever's alive, he can
Make it
make it
everlasting dead.
alive forever in a different way.
He does.
What they call undead.
Forsooth does seem to like to have his flipped coins and heads and tails.
So Graspy comes out and says, Dorbengast will see you now. Squad, thank you. You may return. I'll take it from here. And all the Ganymedes are like, okay, and they just leave and wander off. They don't salute or do shit. So he says, Strahd, Dorbengast will see you now. Whoever you want to bring with you is up to you. Whoever you don't want to come with you, I can escort them to the guest quarters, such as they are. So, who do you want to go with you? And Strahd says, everyone make a charisma check, please. And we're going to start with Ein.
26.
That's a success. And then we'll go to Waldor. Waldor.
Oh, 29.
That's a
I
success.
thought you said
Garrett.
60.
That is a failure. Volmir.
23.
That is a success. Kelf.
22.
That is a success. So, even Gaspar rolled a natural 20.
Oh God.
So, Strahd looks around. He then looks at Garrett. And Garrett, in your mind, you hear, take care of him. And then he says, Gaspar, you're new. Garrett, why don't you go ahead and stay behind and make sure everybody's safe.
As you wish.
The rest of you come with me. So does anyone not go with Strahd that was asked?
I go.
I know.
No, but before we go, since I was observing Raspy this whole time, I wanted to figure out if he's some kind of special undead, or if he just appears to be some kind of zombie hybrid or something.
Okay, do you have anything which would give you that information?
Undead lore necrology.
Okay. Go ahead and roll it.
That's a whole 18.
Okay. Well, I'm going to tell you this. First of all, you saw what he did and you heard him. So
Alright.
he certainly seems like he's a zombie. But as you try to think, well, is he a hybrid? Is he some kind of new thing? The only answer I can give you is in my descriptions of him. I've described him as certainly not sounding or acting like any zombie that you've ever encountered. So other than the information I've already given you, I can't give you anything more.
Alright. And when the other Ganymes were hanging around, did they look like they were regular Ganymes, or did they look like they might be undead or something as well?
Well, they certainly appeared to be living and breathing Ganymes.
Okay.
All right. So, Raspy's like, well, Garrett, Gaspar, follow me. And he heads off around the left. You follow him?
Yep.
Count. Question.
I nudge Waldor. What about the
Should
beast?
your
Hold on, one at a time. Let's start with I.
should your prize come with us?
Not yet. Garrett. No. Waldor. Well, I don't know what about to do with them yet, so just leave them. Tell your creatures to protect that corpse.
Stay here and protect the corpse. I tell the both of them.
All right. So, Raspy walks off and heads off into a side door in this large manor house. You go, Garrett?
Yes.
All right. So Gaspar and Garrett head off, and we'll deal with that when we get to it. So, Volmir, Ein, Kelf, and Waldor. You follow Strahd. And when you walk in, the door kind of creaks open. And there's old, broken refuse all over the floor. There's what was once somewhere to sit. And on the walls, there's what was once some kind of art, and broken lamps on the ground. And the mantle of the fireplace is snapped in half, and the fireplace lays cold and dark. Who knows the last time there was a fire here?
We do.
And from a doorway past this room, you hear, "Hurry now! Don't hold back! Please come in!" Strahd walks on through.
I follow.
I follow.
All right, so you all follow, and what you see when you get in there is you see this very large, rotund, round, fat, bulbous-headed, split-skinned humanoid with legs that are almost too fat to bend, and the body is coming in at what looks like if it was a 1,000-pound man, and the head's the size of a giant pumpkin, and the skin is stretched so tight that it's split, but there's no viscous, nothing coming out of the split skin. It looks dry and crackly, and the fat is so large that it covers up like the naughty parts of the person. And there's a stench in this room that is, it's a combination of death and shit and decaying matter. And up on the walls there's like 3 or 4 of these crows, and one of them's got its eye hanging out, and they're doing these motions but they're not making any noise. And off to the right are 3 zombies that are just kind of standing there, and they've all got spears, and 2 of them have chainmail, and one of them's just a total perfect white skeleton without anything on it at all.
Question.
Yes?
Does any of these things look like the creature we had the dream of back in the Gonomy Town? Because one night, a few of us, I was one of them, and I think Dan and
You're
May
talking
were-
about the Protector?
No, it was a creature that looked undead and had a crown on his head, and
Okay, well definitely not.
okay. It holds out. It actually had a hand of like a turquoise small disc, which is one of the undead coins, in its hand. I was just wondering if it looked like that.
And it says, "So, at last, Count Strahd, welcome. I've waited so long for you to come. Everyone, please, come and make yourselves comfortable. I am Dorbengast. I am the Zombie Lord. I greet you to this meeting, and hopefully to the chance of ending forsooth's tyrannical rule over us forever." Strahd kind of looks and he says, "Dorbengast." Strahd seems visibly shaken by what he's looking at. He says, come, Strahd, don't stand on formalities." And he kind of coughs, and when he coughs, this like centipede comes out of his mouth and lands on his stomach and crawls into a roll of fat.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
And then he says, Who have you brought with you? I must know their names. They look very, very interesting." And Strahd says, "Volmir, Ein, Kelf, and Waldor. They're not important." And he says, "Now wait a second, Strahd. Are these your 4 Osnan that I've heard so much of?" And he coughs again, and this time a bloody lizard comes out of his mouth. He's like, "No!" Bites it in half.
Oh gosh.
That's always better the second time. The big old thing of snot comes out and he's like, and he wipes it on his big old fat man boob. And he's like, I'm saving that for later. So please, if Strahd won't tell, each of you tell me, introduce yourself. You there. You're the White Witch I've heard about very much. You would do nicely. What's your name?
My name is Volmir.
Volmir. Where have I heard that name before? Oh, yes. You're one of the 7 White Witches. Huh. Well, I'll come back to you. And you, what's your name?
My name is Ein.
Zine?
Ein.
Huh. I heard about your brother. Tough. But don't worry, you'll see him again. I don't know when. Sometimes it takes a while for me to digest everything. You. Wow. Another elf. What's your name? What do you do?
I bow. Master Kell, I am a humble monk.
A humble monk. I like saying that. He reaches into his ear and you hear it. He pulls out a worm and he's like, oh, I knew I'd get you eventually. Little hint of brain. And then last, oh no, I know who you are. I know who you are. You're the one that fucked your whole race. Yes, you're Waldo. Where's Waldo? And you see him go like this, and his tongue comes out, and on it there's a spider, and he flips it in the air, and the spider goes, and then he's like, I got more. You want some? No? No, more for me. Oh, excuse me. No, wait, this is my house. You want some?
What is Strahd's reaction?
Strahd's actually just like he's like I said, he's visibly taken aback. He appears to not know what's going on, which for him is a very disconcerting feeling.
Right.
So I have a question at this point. So is the smell and the stank in this worse than the rotting corpse that was outside?
It's different. There seems to be a hint of cinnamon and vanilla here.
Oh, well, that's not bad.
So, Strahd, I'm glad you could make it. I would offer you wine, but I know you don't really drink it. I would offer you blood, but I don't really have any. You'll just kind of have to go thirsty. Are you okay with that? Yes. Shall we get to business, Strahd, and knock off the small talk? Dwarvengast, knock off the small talk, and he says, well, right to it. I like that. I haven't ever seen you and heard all these nasty things about you and heard that you didn't like me, and look at you. Just going right through it. Okay. So, how do we kill Forsooth? And Strahd says, with my generals, led by the commander who is not here, he is currently with Raspy and another. We're going to storm the keep of Forsooth. Yes. Yeah, about that. So I think Raspy should lead. He's good. And Strahd says, well, may I make a counteroffer? My commander should lead. And Dorman Gass says, why? Raspy's loyal, he's quick, he's smart. Strahd says, my man is ruthless. He is one of the Osnan. He will kill anything that gets in his way. And Dorman Gass says, well, what good is that? We're already dead. Strahd goes, good point. And your man can do more than mine? And Dorman Gass says, all right. Yeah, you're right. This stuff is boring. Let's just cut to it. How about your man fight my man, and the winner will get to lead. Says, but whoever loses, the other, they get to ask for something in return. That way we get to save face, such as it is. And he kind of reaches up and scratches and he pulls a piece of flesh off and he's like, oh, too much? Is that my tooth? Strahd says, fine. I'm not sure that you have anything I want. And Dorman Gass says, well, maybe not something you want, but probably something people you travel with want, right? And he kind of looks right at you.
Possibly.
Unless you're ruthless like the commander, would you kill your own brother just to get revenge?
Most likely not.
Yeah, he wants his brother. Strahd's like, fine. What do you want? He looks at Volmir and kind of is like, and then he looks over at you and he's like, yeah. Charisma checks, please.
Straight?
Yep.
Alright, where's my 20? Not 20. 24.
Okay, hold on. So he looks and he's like, I can't decide. I'd like that. I like that thing there. I know. He kind of puts his hand out. Then he looks over at Waldor and he's like, cut it out. Cut it out now. Strahd looks around at Waldor and he's like, he hasn't done anything. Dorman Gass says, drop the control. Not on the elemental. On the Anke.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, I stopped it.
You see him reach out. His eyes flash for a second. And then you hear that strange sound coming first softly. and it gets louder, and then you hear a louder, and something's coming, until eventually at the doorway, the creature bearing Basula's almost liquefied corpse comes into the room. And he says, Strahd, what is that on the back of my maze beast? And he's like, it's not your maze beast, that's whatever. It's just a thing. It's the dad of that baby. And you see Dorban Guest's eyes light up.
It's another one of Forsooth's creations.
He says, never mind those things. I'll take that. And Strahd, in all of your minds, you hear Strahd's voice. Exactly. And then he puts his hand out and you see him do this. And a light comes from him and stretches out to the creature. And from the back you hear slowly a and then you hear a snapping. And as you turn and look, you see Basula's corpse fall off of the creature. And then get up. And he's all got holes and his arms are barely hanging on. And Dorban Gast says, we don't even... Your man can have the command, Strahd. This is quite a gift you brought me. I might eat on him for days. And Strahd says, the way it's agreed upon then. Yes. Do what you will. Take this. And he reaches into a big roll of fat and pulls out this crystal thing. And it looks like a large, it's like a bar of soap. And it's green and it's got white flecks through it. And Strahd comes up and grabs it and he says, that'll release my army from the maze. You now control it. I don't care anymore. Do what thou wilt. And if you take Forsooth down, remember what I did for you. And Strahd says, I won't forget what you've done, Dorban. Thank you. You'll forgive me if I don't bow. And then Dorban reaches out. And just for a second, he and Strahd have a battle of wills. And I would like Kelf and Volmir to roll d20s, please. Kelf, you're rolling for Strahd. What'd you get?
I rolled a 7.
Volmir, you're rolling for Dorban. What'd you roll?
I rolled an 8.
Okay. So at that, Dorban goes like that, and they battle. And you see Strahd's face kind of... And then you see Dorban kind of cringe, and then he puts his other hand up, and he's like... And both of these entities are straining against each other before Dorban looks up and he takes his fingers and puts them together and then starts to point down. And as he does, you see Strahd bend the knee and stare down at the ground. And Strahd says, your will is my command, Dorban. And then he poofs into a mist and goes away. And Dorban says, that, my living friends, is how you deal with a vampire. What's his name? He looks
Does Basula have any, does he have any, idea of what's going on?
As you look at Basula, all you see are the cold, dead eyes of an animated corpse barely held together by sinew and flesh. Dorbengas says, what is his name?
Basula.
Basula, come here so I may grant you the gift of the zombie lord. And he kind of goes like this, and you see Basula walk slowly up. It looks like he's going to walk right through you, Ein. Do you move out of the way?
I step aside.
Valmir, do you remain where you are, or do you move away to give him room, or what do you do?
I slowly step to the side, but as he passes, I put my hand on his arm.
Okay.
Not grabbing him or
Right.
anything, just touching.
You feel his flesh is cold. The cool embrace of death that he took long ago from you and your fellow assassins remains in place. Dorbengas puts a hand on his chest and another hand out on Basula's head. And you see his eyes grow to the back of the head, up in his head, and he's like, "Ah!" And just for a second, this dark red light envelops the both of them. And it looks vaguely familiar, like the fire temple back when those of you that were around at that time saw fire. And then all is quiet. Dorbengas says, Basula has something for you. Give them their gifts, Basula. And Basula turns around, and when he turns around, you can see his eyes are black. They're not white anymore. And his flesh appears like it's been healed somewhat. How? You're not sure. Maybe it was that dark red energy, or who knows. And he steps, but when he steps, he moves as if he is not dead anymore. And you see the two extra arms come out, and they make the sound of ice breaking as they bust out of his sides, and they're skeletal. And they come out, and he opens his skeletal hands, and in each of his hands there is a round coin.
I grab it.
Ein, you take one.
Yep.
I grab one.
I take
From
the
the
other one.
skeletal man.
And that leaves
Isn't there four of them?
that leaves the last one. Kel?
Yeah, there's only two.
Hell, take it.
Okay, we'll take the coin.
Okay. You see the four skeletal arms then retract. And Basula then stands there and just stares straight ahead, not looking at any of you. And Dorbengas says, our business is concluded unless you want to stay for lunch.
Hey, God, you have to repeat that. You're
Yeah, you break it
Okay.
up.
Dorbengas says, our meeting is concluded unless you want to stay for lunch.
It's been a pleasure, and I turn and walk away.
I turned
Okay.
and walked out the way we came, and we were checking out the cooler.
I try to
When we leave,
Have-
I look at this.
Basula look in my eyes, like I stand right in front of him.
Make me a charisma check at disadvantage.
"26 is the lowest. I got 26 and 32.
Damn, you rolled good. You swear just for a second, Basula looks at you, but then his eyes go back straight forward. And in the back of your little reptile brain, something breaks.
The water just broke.
Do you guys leave? What else do you do? Ein, you were leaving. Calvin, you said you were leaving, right?
When I leave.
Okay.
Yes, and I'm investigating the point.
Okay. Waldor,
I
you're
look
leaving.
around and I'm backing out.
He, as you're backing out, Dorban Guest says, "I'll allow you to keep the elemental. That's mine now." If you get another one, that's fine. He says, "But I'm hungry." And the creature starts to walk past you and up towards him as he licks his lips.
I'm gonna watch this even though I really don't want to, just for informational purposes, but.
Oh God.
Okay, so you guys go outside.
Yeah.
I
Waldor,
turn and I leave.
Waldor, you stay by yourself in the room?
I'm just at the doorway. I just want to see him, like, take one or two bites or how this is going to work, and then I'm going to leave.
Well, he takes a few bites and he seems to enjoy it.
Okay, so I don't see any weird magic or, glowing or anything like that happening.
You didn't see enough already?
Yeah. That's not fun.
This guy's having his lunch. That's all.
No, I understand that. I just was curious if there was going to be, like, any fireworks display or magic or
Yeah, the
anything.
fact that he's eating the shit out of this undead bug and there's fireworks going all over his face and chest like some fucking giant came on him. That's what.
All right. I turned. No, I thought maybe, I might see
I
like
know.
some kind of magic.
I'm busting your balls, but no, Dan. He's eating like a regular person. Okay, so meanwhile, those of you that head outside, you're looking at the coin,
Yep.
and it looks very much like the kind of coin that you've had to use to open a teleportation portal before.
Is this our ticket home? And I look over at Ein.
I look at him. Yes. This is what we use to get home. What's the image this time?
It looks like a dragon with an elven woman and a young elven boy riding it.
Yeah.
All right. Meanwhile, are you just now leaving, Garrett?
I'm gonna get my glass of tea real quick.
All right. So
I'll be able to hear you.
we'll come back to you when you rejoin. Okay. So meanwhile, you guys are outside now, and the elemental comes out, and it's very It doesn't look like it's doing anything other than following Waldor. So you're outside, and you don't see anybody else. Everything appears to be quiet and abandoned.
We saw where they walked off to, right?
You did?
All right.
As you're looking around and you're going, they went in down there. Coming around the corner is that woman.
I wave. Yeah, I just wave.
She says, "Let's see you burn this house down, asshole!"
Not yet. Business is still being done.
"You better watch your back." And she turns and heads off the other direction.
Don't lose your head! I yell out.
Make a charisma check with disadvantage.
Well, 16 or 18 out of the case. 27 is my lowest.
All right.
Did she do anything, or did she just keep walking?
She went around the corner.
Okay.
Okay. So, Garrett, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So you are shown into this room in the corner on the bottom floor, or the first floor, I should say. And it appears to be like a very large room, like 15 by 20. And Raspy's like, all right, I know that you guys that you need like food and drink and all that. He says, but we don't really have any use for that here, so I'm not sure I can help you. Hopefully your priest can help you, but you know, that's dicey at best. So there is a stream a little further north. I wouldn't go there though unless I was with you. You understand?
Sure.
Anyway, hopefully your friends will be done soon. Garrett? I'm sorry things turned out the way they did. You stare at him?
I'm sorry?
Did you hear what he said?
I didn't know if he was going to add on to that.
No, he's just looking up at you.
I'm just going to look at it and go, we didn't go for all of us. It was always known. And I hated to have to do it that way. But I actually thought that you would survive.
He says, well, I'm sorry. Roll a d10.
One.
Oh shit.
With lightning quick reflexes, he whips out his weapon and he tries to stab you with it. You're surprised. No dex bonus.
Yep.
Natural 1.
That hits an armor class of -8.
Yeah.
With lightning reflexes in the surprise round, he stabs you in the gut and he pulls you in closer and he's like, it's not personal. I just knew he was going to fight later. First of all, save versus poison. If you have a Constitution hit point adjustment, you would add that to your roll.
I do not.
So roll a d20.
I need 5 is my poison. I rolled a 14.
All right. So from the little sword, you take 1 point of damage. And you take half, 4 more points of poison damage, and no other effects. The surprise round is over. Gaspar's like, what the fuck? He pushes you back and he says, I ain't waiting. I ain't letting them decide our fate.
Your fate's already decided.
Ah! He lets out a yell. Action.
Attack.
All right, so Garrett is
Are
there.
we still outside? Are we still outside?
Well, actually, this is happening while you guys are in the Dorman Gas fucking
Okay. Thank you.
whatever the fuck room you want to call that, throne room. So
There you go.
The dining hall.
yeah. All right, so let me get on some good battle music here.
Run to the
Oh, here we go. I know this song. All right, roll initiative. Need a 7.
3.
All right, I'm very fast. Natural 20! Explode! And a nothing. Take 10 points of damage. Your turn.
Better.
Put your lucky music.
Armor class is a -7.
That's a hit, Rodenkus.
He's small, right?
He is.
14.
14?
What?
That seems like a lot. 14?
A D8 plus 7.
Not. Oh yeah. Yeah. Sounds right. D8
You remember-
mastery
You got your,
Well, D8
you got all
plus...
your up
plus
at.
his 4 strength plus his 3
I
for
think he's got a
proficiency.
+4 strength. You have a +4 damage on your strength? Hold on, all right. I believe you. All right, 14. All right. Raspy's second attack.
I didn't think he had +4,
Armor class of -1.
but is the spear +1?
That's a miss.
All right, your turn.
Is the spear +1?
Yeah.
There
That's
is
where it
a
came from. He
natural
only has +3.
19.
That's a hit. Explode.
And that should be.
Another 19.
Explode.
Oh, just 2 shot him.
Now, 2.
Okay. Roll damage. Roll your weapon damage first.
Weapon damage is 13.
No.
No bonuses.
Roll the dice.
6 points.
Okay, so double that.
12,
Now add your other 7.
19.
Ooh, man, that one ran right through him. And when you expect to hear a yelp, all you hear is a, that's a good one. I'm getting warmed up. And when you pull it back out, the spear's like, fuck that guy. And your spear is dry.
Okay.
All right, third attack.
Armor class of -5.
That's a hit. Roll Dinkus.
15.
Oh, damn.
Hammer time.
He's looking kind of hurt now. All right. All right. End of the round. Any movement? He's just staying facing you.
Oh no, we're squared off.
All right. Next round. Action.
Back.
Roll initiative. Speed 3.
6.
All right. He goes first. You see him take that sword. He kind of flicks it over the back and he whips it along his hair. And when it comes out, you can see it glistening with some substance. Armor class of 4. That's a miss.
I thought he had a shaved head.
Same.
Oh, yeah. All right, so it just came off his neck. That's fine.
Drunken.
Thank you.
Armor class of -4.
That's a hit. Roll Dinkus.
8.
Minimum.
All right, his second attack. Armor class is 0. I'm sorry. -1 again. No, I'm
Yes.
sorry. -2.
Miss.
All right, second attack.
Really? The fuck is wrong?
Armor class of -1.
That's a hit.
Come on. 8 points.
All right, and your last attack.
That's an armor class of -9.
You hear the door shut as Gaspar leaves the room. That's a hit.
That is 14 points.
Almost max. God damn, Eric.
All right, end of the round. Any movement?
No.
All right. Next round. Action.
Attack.
Roll initiative. Beat a 2. 2?
2.
Uh-oh.
Bring out that monkey.
All right, roll a d20. Beat a 9.
I rolled a 9.
All right.
Ooh, extra special jam monkey.
So, roll another 20 for you.
Even God gotta look that one up.
Well,
Okay. This round, you catch a lucky break. You are favored by fate, and you gain a +4 bonus to your armor class and saving throws for this round only. Roll a d20 for him.
2.
Okay, well, that can't happen, so nothing happens.
You get a +4.
All right, so on very fast, he goes first. He withdraws into the wood. Your turn.
Attack.
You see him kind of do this and move backwards, and you see him go right into the wood, and he appears to be gone. And when I say the wood, I mean the wall.
The wall. I'm going to attack and hit the wall.
Roll to hit.
Armor class of -9.
Roll damage.
14.
How do you want to do this?
Straight through the chest, and I'm going to pull it up the spear to me.
Okay. First of all, save versus spells.
Versus spell.
Flawless encounter. Let's go.
I rolled an 11. I needed to beat an 8.
Okay. So when you save versus spells, when you're striking an invisible target, it means you strike somewhere and there's like a glint. So just as you go to strike, you see a part of the wood, like this eye pops open, and you're like, and you run up and you go, jam! And with the -4, you still hit because that would have put you at a -5. So your spear goes in through his neck, and you can kind of hear him go, Gah! And you impale him there, and he becomes like visible, but really kind of comes out of the wood, and he looks up at you, and he's like, "You done good. I'll catch you on the flip side." And he kind of puts his arm out and puts it on your shoulder. "Now go save the world, you fucking prick." And he bumps down. What do you do now?
Huh?
What do you do now?
Push him off the spear.
Does he fall out of the wall, or is he like pardoned?
No, he like, whenever you he kind of like comes forward with it, and you kind of push him off, and you just kind of hear a thud as the body hits the floor. And then whatever was left of Raspy there, apparently it's no more.
I'm going to look down and say, had to be done. I'm going to take the skin piercer. It's done.
Good. It didn't taste the same.
Where'd the wizard run off to?
Okay, so you guys are coming outside,
Right.
and you're just starting to head around, like down towards the door. Whenever Gaspar like comes around the corner, and he's like, "There was Titan in there. Raspy and Garnet, or whatever his name was. They was going at it. I left." And he's like got this look of fright on his
I
face.
start taking off.
So you're just right there. So you like open the door,
Yeah.
and Garrett's in there, and you see Raspy on the floor, and Garrett's just standing. So you guys can do or say whatever you want.
How'd it go?
I really What happened?
He jumped me.
You get hit?
Yeah. He's got some kind of dagger you might want to look at. It's got something on it.
I walk over and
I searched my eyes, yeah.
Waldor, take care of the body. I'll take care of Garrett. And I go over to Garrett. And I look at the wound. He was hit?
Yeah. He's got a little blood coming off his midsection where it looks like he was stabbed. Could have been a worse wound, but it's cut about an inch deep.
I forget.
Okay, so that's what you're doing.
Right.
Balmer, are you doing anything specific right now? Okay. Kel?
I will move to look at the body of Brad.
And Waldor.
I was gonna search his body.
Okay. So, searching's pretty easy. I mean, unless you want to search up his butt, he doesn't have much of anything. There's like a dagger laying next to the body, and he's got those leather shorts on and a belt. That's about it.
What's the thing? He didn't have like a vial of poison on him or anything.
You could roll me a d6.
I'm gonna, as Heinz looking over me, I'm gonna look back and say, what's the condition of that, what's that short sword look like?
Okay, so Kelv, you went over and you examined the area and you see what I described, and there's looks like a dagger sitting there with some kind of liquid on it, some kind of like oily substance that clings to the blade.
Yeah, I kind of snooped that.
You immediately...
I identify it as poison
Yes.
with my herbalism.
Yes.
He's definitely poisoned the blade. Are you feeling ill, Garrett?
He hit me with it. I mean,
Are you? He doesn't look green or anything, does he?
No. It looks like the poison is just on his shirt.
I put the knife down.
Okay, so you're doing what?
I will use... I forget. One thing I was going to ask. All the while that we've been here, it's been like no direct sunlight, correct?
Correct.
Alright. Am I at full HP? Yes I am. Yes. I wish I really want that fucking Dianox stuff.
Okay, well, Waldor, while he's thinking about whatever he's doing, anything else from you guys?
No.
I'm just gonna examine the body a little better to see if I can't figure out how just, if there's anything different about it versus regular zombies. So I know he did some weird shit to his face, so I was gonna see if that stuff comes off.
It looks like from your thieving background, a simple disguise.
Oh, okay.
Are you gonna do something now, or not?
How you feeling, Garrett?
He got me a few times, but overall, I felt worse before.
You want me to take care of it?
We're gonna have to do something before we head up on the big march, but we don't know when that's gonna be.
So hold off for now?
Let's hold off for now. If we got a couple weeks, I'll be fine by then.
Alright. Nothing apparently.
Okay.
Now, hey, Tom,
So,
did he have both a dagger and a short sword?
No, just a dagger.
Okay.
So, did he have a sheath for the dagger that's laying on there on Raspy?
Yeah.
I carefully take the sheath off and I put the dagger in it. But before I put the dagger in, can I see if there's anything lining the sheath, to replenish the poison when he puts it in?
You sure can. You look, and it does not appear like there's anything on the inside of this.
I put it in there, and then I carefully put it, like strap it to my leg, the outside, not the inside.
Okay. Add 1 dagger to your inventory.
Where's diagnostic?
I take Raspy.
I hope we'll get a chance to rest, and we've been traveling quite a while. The
Right.
spell of the Waldorf cast was definitely came in handy, but I'm still feeling the rigors.
Waldor, where is the earth elemental?
Outside, where I left it.
So it's just you guys in the room. Gaspar is like at the doorway going, is it safe?
Yeah, come on in.
I kicked Raspy again. And it appears to be safe.
I'm gonna look at Gaspar and tell him, if you're ever in the need for anything, I hope you don't want us to run away from you.
Okay. That's a non-weapon. I think that's a non-weapon proficiency.
Yeah, it is, but what book?
Paladins.
Paladins? Oh, that's what I thought.
Okay, so you guys can just stand there and look at each other until nightfall, I guess.
Right, so how big can the elemental fit in this
There it
room?
is, thank you.
Or is it on the base side?
Well, it's considered large, so you saw it.
So I'll try dragging Raspy's body outside the...
Well, that's not that difficult.
Alright.
What happened?
I just drag him out to the front of the door, and then I kick his body to roll him, out into the street or whatever.
That's what happens.
What happened?
Until the elemental will come over in front of the door, and then I go back inside.
Go ahead, Garrett.
What happened with the meeting?
It went very well,
It's been determined that you will lead the forces.
Well, do I have to fight their champion?
No,
No.
actually, but you did. But you didn't have to.
A deal has been made. But it was interesting that Strahd lost a battle of will and bent the knee in service to Thorvengad.
What was given?
Basula.
The physical remains of what used to be Basula.
Basula's back, though. Now a mindless thrall.
Yeah, I wouldn't say back.
Oh, he's back. He's just a mindless thrall, just as he ever was.
I show
That's
Garrett
the
the
new
coin that he gave me, and then I secure it in a pocket in my bandolier.
What happened? Stream go down?
Yeah.
So-
Started.
That's
Oh yeah, speaking of which, I go over to Garrett, and I hand him his coin.
We got our
Well, who
coin.
else needs a coin now?
We only got 4.
Alright, there's 4, but there's what, 6 of us?
Yeah. We only need 4. I'm keeping mine. I was one of the originals.
Same.
We have 6 coins.
No, we only have 4.
No, we have 6. I found 2 earlier.
off those bodies
Yep.
back in the town.
Well, I guess Gaspar needs to
What
fix one here.
do the old coins have an image of? Could I see it?
Hey, Cobb, what picture was on the coin that I gave Gary?
It was a dragon with an elven woman and an elven boy riding it.
So they appear to be the same as the one I grabbed, so.
Oh, you're talking about the ones from the guys in the cell?
Yeah.
Yeah, those are Annam coins.
Oh. You told me those were teleportation coins.
Yeah, the old ones.
Not the new ones. As I said, we only have 4.
Now, it sounds like we need to find 2 more.
We never have in the past. When we came to this time, we gave up 4 coins.
Yes,
And
that's-
we got 7 of us
there's-
through.
There's only 4.
Gaspar, how did you get here?
I live here.
My brother, you, me,
Oh,
her, Basula.
How did you get here, Master Kelf? I assume you live here as well.
I don't live here
There's
in
5 of us
this
that got
nether
through.
world.
Well, okay.
I took a potion that feigned my death, I hope.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I traveled to the north to explore the grave maze. I used my powers to barter my way into the land of the dead.
So you have your own way out? Is
Unless-
that's what I was getting at. I wondered if you were able to move between these.
Well, I assume I do. I haven't tried yet. There's so much to explore.
That it definitely is. Walter, is your elemental going to be guarding the door?
I figured I would have that later tonight, yeah.
A loud sound comes from inside the house, and there is a door that leads further into the home. That sounds like the sound came from behind the door, a loud wailing.
Female, male.
Is it like what we heard in the house that was set fire to before?
No,
Female, male.
it sounds like the sound of Dorbenghast yelling or doing some type of ritual.
I put my ear to the door and I'm going to attempt to hear a noise.
Well, you don't have to do that. Everyone can hear it.
Oh, I thought it was like muffled or something. Like you couldn't make it out exactly.
Well, it's just a yelling, like the ritual that I described. He wasn't saying any words.
I don't know that. I don't think I will witness his evil.
Did you
ritual.
witness what he did to Basula? Everyone witnessed that. That's
Yeah.
the sound.
I cracked the door a little bit and peeked through.
Okay, when you peek through, you see a large ball with mist coming off of it, heading towards your door as if to crash into the room.
I duck. Alright, I fall on the ground.
You all see Waldor fall to the ground for some reason. And you hear a loud rumbling as if thunder is approaching the building.
I take cover.
I opened the other door.
Anybody else doing anything?
What's going on?
Alrighty.
I just
So,
found someone from everywhere.
Kelf, where do you take cover?
You said there was rubble. I'm going through the corner.
Okay. You go and you move to open the door.
I
Waldor,
thought the door was open because I was looking through it.
he went to the other door that leads outside.
Oh, okay.
You said that you fall down in front of the door. Is that what you said?
Yeah, that I was peeking through.
Okay.
Yeah.
Garrett, any
Oh,
action from you?
I'm looking back to where I was at and why Waldor's on the floor.
And Volmir, anything from you? Anything from you, Volmir, as far as an action? You got this loud sound coming like something's coming at your room. Waldor hits the deck. Other people scramble to go somewhere. Do you have an action?
Yeah, I run towards the side.
The side of the room?
Just away from,
Or-
yeah, like away from the door.
All right. So, roll initiative, Waldor. Beat a 1.
4.
All right. So, this large round thing that looks vaguely familiar to you, Waldor, because you've seen this before. It crashes through the doorway. You need to do a save versus breath weapon, but you're at a -4 because you're prone.
Yeah, that didn't work.
Okay. Everyone else save versus breath weapon at normal chances. And we'll start with Ein.
Any bonuses?
No, not for this. Yeah, if you have a reaction adjustment on your dexterity.
That ties.
Well, meets it or beats it. So you got success. Kelp,
15, I needed a 12.
that's success. Volmir,
13, I needed a 5.
that's a success. Garrett.
Need a 5, roll 16.
Okay, so this huge ball that some of you might remember as the ball that was sucking in the negative energy from all of the undead creatures that were being used as labor to keep them docile back in the Frunctious Gunyon days, crashes through the door frame. Waldor, you're right in its path. You hit the deck. It rolls over you. You take full damage. Everyone else takes half. Waldor, you take 17 points of damage. Everyone else takes 8. And you are managed to avoid the splintering shards and pieces of wood that bust open as this ball comes to a rest inside the door. I mean, inside the room as it busts through the door frame. I don't know if you all remember that saw this before, what this mist does to you, but if you don't, that's on you. And now I need actions, and we'll start with the person that's closest, and that would be Waldor.
I'm running out the door.
Which door?
The door to the outside.
You will have to go past the ball to get there.
I understand that.
Garrett, action.
Exit the room.
Volmir.
Same.
Kelf.
Casting.
And Ein.
Running out the room.
All right, Garrett, roll initiative. Beat a 6.
1.
All right, that's what you guys needed. So, everyone that can move, moves. Unfortunately, Waldor, a half move for you to get up. And then you actually get to take another half move. And you make it out the door.
Am I running right past Health?
No, because he was able to move. You had to get up first.
Okay.
Casting.
Well,
Oh,
he's
yeah.
casting, so he didn't move.
Well, I
That's why
guess you
asked.
do. I guess you do run past him.
On my way past, I'm like, get out of the room as soon as you can. Now!
All right. When does your spell go off, Cal?
It is average.
But your side is
Mid
sped up.
average.
Your side is sped up, so you get to go now.
Okay, I swirl my hands together and draw on the forces of nature to create a glowing sphere of energy as I pray to Cthulhu to grant me the gifts of combat and the fist of faith. And I cast fist of faith.
And what does that do?
It creates an invisible fist of force that strikes any being visible to the caster who is within range, which is 10 yards, and I guess that is.
Yes.
And it does 4d4 points of damage and 4d6 to undead.
All right. And I guess
There's
it's...
a saving throw, it just hits.
I'm gonna get...
And then goes away.
Okay, so it's just here for one round?
Yes, it takes effect and gone.
Okay, then it, what's your target?
The sphere of energy that just came into the room.
All right, so this is considered large, if it matters.
Is it undead? That's the only thing that matters according to the spell.
Or it's 4d4 points. 7, 8, 10 points.
And what did you say about undead?
4d6 if it's undead.
It's 46 then.
Okay, my bad. I wasn't sure. It didn't seem like an undead thing.
Well, it's a special thing. That's all I can tell
I get
you.
it. I just didn't understand that. All right, we got 17 points.
So you go and you cast the spell. And then before you roll with advantage because of your good spell casting on your damage, you go to cast it, and something about the way that your mana strikes it lets you know that, hey, this thing's undead, so roll damage.
Very good, very good.
Roll damage.
Oh, again?
You're doing it with advantage because of your spell casting.
Oh, okay, thank you. 8, 10, 14 that time. So 17 would have been that.
All right, so you strike it for 17 points. Kabam! The sphere moves one square away from you, but remains swirling with the mist coming off of it. Okay, so as everyone else exits, you are standing there. The mist begins to fill up the room. You need to save versus poison.
$20!
Alright, you realize if you breathe this in, it's going to be bad, so you hold your breath.
Yeah, I gasped my last clean air and I rushed the door.
Okay, so at the end of the round, you get to take a half move, and you exit the room.
Very good.
As you all are outside, you start to feel very uncomfortable. There is a feeling of dread that is coming about all of you. And to reinforce the feeling of dread, you hear a bunch of sounds coming from all directions.
The line, you shouldn't have pissed off that lady.
Before you...
This is not her.
I would like, if anyone wants to do anything at this time, please tell me what you'd like to do. And we'll start with Ein. Anything?
No.
Waldorf.
I am going to move to cover and tell my elemental to guard me.
Garrett.
Keep looking around.
Nothing. Volmir.
I'll stand ready. If I am attacked, I'll attack.
Kelf.
I'm casting.
Alright, so all of those things happen. No one, you don't see anyone to attack during this round, Volmir, but you're ready. You're like waiting. You're like looking around. Garrett, you're looking around. Baldur makes a dive for the edge of the porch and kind of takes cover there at the corner where the porch meets the ground in the house. And the elemental kind of slides over and turns and acts like it's able to stand guard. Calf, what is the spell you cast?
Well, I was going to cast Protection from Evil. I thought it was an area effect, and as I was reading that, I think it's just one creature touch. So I'm praying to Cthulhu. Can I say that instead of casting?
Well, if you... okay, I remember now. Make me a wisdom check. If you fail it, then you weren't smart enough to know what the fuck you're doing.
Okay. I rolled a 9.
And
My wisdom is a 15.
All right. So what that means is, even though Garrett doesn't know how to wield a spear and a shield at the same time his character does, so in this instance what that means is because you didn't memorize your spell as the gamer, the character knows that it affects only one person. So you do not cast the spell, you don't waste the slot. You just pray.
Okay.
That's what that means.
I'm praying.
Okay. So that is the end of that round. That happened. Now everything gets still. And as you all start to look around, you see skeletons. Skeletons approaching from every direction. And you hear a scrambling, a scratching from above. And as you look, you see skeletons start to peer over the edge of that top balcony. And they start to climb down slowly but surely. And basically what you have here is you all surrounded by skeletons as far as the eye can see.
I touch Garrett's arm and I say, you're in control. It's been neat and Dorban beam that you control is on me.
The army has arrived.
Strahd controls it. He just leads.
Okay, anything else during this round from anyone? Actions? If nothing, then I'll count to 5.
Nope, I'm good.
I peer in the doorway. What do I see for
the ball? The ball just remains there, spinning and giving off this mist.
Is it filling the whole room, or is it coming out the door yet?
It's barely coming out the door, but then it's dissipating, so it's not like it's a creeping fog. It's just kind of filling that space in the room. Kind of like it did when you guys first encountered this thing. It didn't come out into the hallway that far.
Alright, I pulled that bow out.
Huh?
I pulled the bow out.
Oh, okay. Okay. Alright, so on their turn, the skeletons all stop moving. And as you look, your eyes start to focus, and you can tell that you're basically awash, afloat in a sea of skeletons. All of them pristine, clean, well-shaped skulls, fully arms attached and legs. None of them have any weapons that you can tell other than their skeletal bones and feet. Maybe they're choppers. And from the front door of this 2-story house, the door kind of falls forward and you hear, "Oh, somebody help me!" And parting through this sea of skeletons is Dorban, floating on this mist like a cloud, his little legs poking off the edge as his bulbous body is being carried aloft on a carpet of clouds, his disgusting form covered with maggots and roaches, spaghetti stains on his arm, flesh shown off of his legs and feet. His feet are black, like they've been decaying for centuries. And he just kind of floats up a little bit over the skeletons and says, "Why did you do that? Why did you do that? I liked him. I liked him. And now he's gone. I don't like you people anymore. So fuck you. Take them." And all the skeletons just wash over you like a wave. Does any of you have anything you want to do? We'll start with Volmir.
Shit. Technically, I still meant to do that.
Anything?
I would take my swords and just start trying to hack away.
All
I don't
right.
know.
Garrett.
I'm gonna yell at them, going back on your word.
Is that all?
I'll start swinging the spear.
Okay. Waldor.
I am going to hold my breath and run back into the room, past the wall, and hopefully out the other side of the door.
Kel.
Y'all follow me.
Kel.
Casting.
Hein.
I basically get behind Garrett. I sit down in the meditative stance and I just meditate.
Okay, roll initiative, Kel. Speed of 9.
Got the 10. Where's the D10? There it is. 4.
Alright. So I'm very fast. Waldor, you start to move. You hop back up on the porch and you run back in the room and you hold your breath. So save versus poison with a +4 bonus.
Yeah, 19, so...
Okay?
so 23.
So you move as far as your legs can carry you. Do you attempt to run or do you just move your full move?
I'm running.
Alright. So with your first move on this phase, you make it into the room and all the way to the other side to the door that was busted down. Then we go to fast. Everyone can attack. When's your spell go off, Kel?
Fast, I think? Yes, the end of fast.
Okay, so Garrett, you feel like a nudge to your right, and when you make a quick look, you see Ein sitting down in the lotus position with his eyes closed. So, Kel, if your spell goes off, what's the casting time?
3.
Alright. Volmir, you're first. You get to attack. Roll to hit.
-5.
Oh, that's a hit. This is considered a heroic fray. And what that means is
I've been wanting to do one of these.
warriors can double their normal rate of attack. This only applies to your primary weapon. Character is fighting with a weapon in each hand. A secondary weapon still adds only 1 additional attack per round. Any attacks of opportunity must be counted off against these additional attacks. In addition, warriors gain 1 extra attack per round, which may be used to perform a shield punch, shield rush, unarmed punch or kick, or grab maneuver against any opponent they threaten. And those attacks do not provoke attacks of opportunity. So what that means is each hit that you guys make, you knock down a skeleton. The question is, can you last an entire sea of skeletons? unless something else happens. So, Valmir, all you got to do is hit an armor class of 8 versus skeletons. That's their armor class. So, you hit, right? So that's 1. Roll your roll it again for your doubling attacks, and we're just going to do it this way. So roll again.
That -2.
So what's your THAC0 with your weapons?
It's 4.
Okay, so all you got to do is not roll a 1. Roll anything else,
Yeah.
and you destroy a skeleton. Okay, so that's a hit. Roll another attack offhand.
Hit.
All right. So Garrett, go. 2 attacks. Just all you got to do is not roll a 1.
Okay, as I said, -13
Okay, that's good.
and 0.
That's good. Okay. Then we go to Kelf with the spells.
I hold my holy symbol high above my head and I shout, Kahulin, let the light of love shine down upon those who would oppose me. And as I stomp, I release a burst of energy and I cast Castigate.
And what does that do?
It's odd one. You might want to look it up, but I'll begin to read it and hopefully I can do it justice. By means of this spell, the priest can deliver a blasting rebuke upon his foes. The spell's effect depends on the alignment of those within the area of effect. Foes with the same alignment as the caster must make a successful saving throw or be deafened for 1 to 3 rounds by the blistering words of the caster. Foes with a different alignment, with the difference of 1 alignment component for 1 point of damage per level of the caster, a successful saving throw will have that damage. Foes with both alignment components different from that of the caster suffer 1d4 points of damage per level. Again, a successful saving throw reduces that. Lawful good, previous casting the spell would deafen foes of lawful good alignment and inflict 1 point of damage per level upon foes of lawful neutral. It goes on to describe the different levels of distance between the alignments. But I think you get the point.
Yeah. Well, these are skeletons, and I don't think I'm giving too much away if I just say skeletons are neutral. They don't have any alignment at all. So, roll the appropriate penalty or damage that you would do. And do it at advantage because of your casting.
Say again, please.
You get advantage on your rolls because of your spell casting.
Well, I heard that part, but what am I rolling? The 1d4 per level?
What's the one up from that?
That's the highest.
Oh, is that the highest? D4 per level?
Yeah, 1d3 or 1d4?
Yeah, D4.
Okay. I have to dig out a couple new dice, I think. Alright, that's 5 of them.
I can't change to use a power because it's at the end of the round. Or because
14. Six.
Oh my.
7, 34 points to each creature.
8 skeletons
in a
explode.
10-foot radius.
So you cast that spell, and did you say a burst of light comes out?
Yeah, a 20-foot radius.
Okay. And the skeletons, as they close in, you go blah blah blah, blam, and skeletal parts go flying and 8 skeletons all get pulverized.
Hooray!
Okay. Next round, Waldor, you keep moving. Where are you trying to go?
I went into that other room.
Okay.
Through the doorway.
Right. So what happens is when you come in that room, basically you see the front door open and a bunch of skeletons are starting to pile in, but they can't get to you yet.
Okay, so
You can go further. You can go further into the house. You can go further into the house if you want.
Well, no, I can't see what you're drawing anyway, but I'm just saying it. So can I see? Is this room look familiar as well?
Yeah, this is the room before you went into where you met Dorbengast.
Okay. Is there a door I can close?
Well, the front door is down off its hinges, so no. There's a door directly across the room that's closed, and then there's the open hallway door that led to where Dorbengast was.
So there's not a door I can close to block the skeletons from getting through then, right?
If they're coming in the front door, no. Not unless you can magically levitate and fix a door that's been knocked down by Dorbengast.
Okay. All right, I go back into the other room holding my weapon.
Are you trying to stay in there, or are you going to go back outside?
No, I'm gonna. I mean, there's not a. Was there a place that I seen the gas not going to, or was it pretty much filling the whole room?
Well, it's filling that whole room, yeah, because it's only 15 by 20.
All right, so I run back through holding my weapon.
Where are you trying to go?
Back outside.
All right, make another save with -4.
And I'm going to tell my elemental to start bashing that ball. Yeah. Is it +4 still on these things?
Yeah.
So that's 17. That made it.
Okay. All right, so Balmir, 2 more attacks with your main weapon. And Garrett, 4 more attacks with your main weapon.
Got to roll anything but a 1?
Correct.
Okay, -4. -7. -15. And that 20.
Okay, Balmir, you get 2 more attacks with your main weapon. Can't hear you.
Roll 5
That's a hit?
and 6.
Okay. All right. Okay. What is that?
Her boyfriend.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right, so at the end of the round, Garrett, that would be 3 points of fatigue. Valmir, 2 points of fatigue. And Walter, 2 points of fatigue. And I, 1 point of fatigue, just because you moved. And Kelf, nothing, because you didn't move. And
I have
that's...
to wonder if that spell Damcast is still in effect to negate the fatigue.
Or does that take effect for that?
Well, it doubles fatigue, I think.
Yeah, it doubles the amount that you get.
So the question
I
is...
mean, it's been a while. I just didn't know if it was still
Right.
effective.
I'm going to say it's still up. I mean, to be honest...
It's good for 7 days.
It's,
Doesn't matter.
if I had to play devil's advocate and make assumptions that I'm hesitant to do, I'm going to say that eventually you all will be worn down by this infinite sea of skeletons. So unless you have some way of leaving this area, eventually you will get tired and taken down. So we can play that out just to see how many rounds it takes, if you want, or we can skip to that part.
I was hoping to destroy the sphere first and see if that helps.
Sure. Okay, so you guys just let me know when you want to. All right, so next round actions. We got power. Your thing will go to attack the sphere. Waldor, action.
I'm gonna move out of the front door. Did I make it out the front door then?
You didn't go out the front door. You went out the side door to the room. You're outside. You're back, almost back to where you started.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna shoot the bow at the sphere.
Okay, you're gonna attack. Kelf.
Attacking.
Garrett.
Attack, please.
And Volmir.
Attack.
All right. Roll initiative, Volmir. Beat a 4.
Four.
Uh-oh! Nice. All right, roll a d20.
Know that sound.
Perfect timing.
Beat a 13.
Did you like that pizza? That's weakness. The
10.
looks.
All right, it happens to the skeleton side. Roll another 20.
Just roll 16 because it doesn't really matter. I'm okay with, go ahead and roll 16. It really does not matter.
13.
13. Oh, lucky opening. A random skeleton gets a +4 bonus to his attack roll against whatever enemy he had planned to attack. Speaking of which, I forgot to have the skeletons attack you guys last round. So we'll just say they were stupid. This round, however, you guys aren't sped up.
They were.
So, nobody goes on very fast.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Contact.
Okay.
Target is Strahd. Let me see if this works. I rolled a 3, so if he is he of the same
You should know what he is.
life order,
He's undead.
he is an undead
Yeah, he's a
monster.
vampire.
So I guess that's monster.
Yes.
Okay, is he within 1,000 miles?
Yeah.
Then it's successful.
Okay.
Unless there's a
Sorry.
blockage.
Right. Well, there is. There's a defense.
Then I don't try to progress.
Stop.
What do I take? Half of...
Stop. Stop.
I'm guessing the maximum.
Yes. Well, yes. According to this, yes.
It'd be more if there was more.
No. It's just the number's not. He's not 20.
Gotcha.
All right.
16, he's in 16 to 20.
He is.
Yeah.
Okay. So
So I take 9.
now we go to fast. We have the skeleton's attack. Oh wait. Yeah, that's right. Because you're shooting a bow. So basically, it's a gang pile on everyone with skeletons. So let's see what happens. So you're not resisting, right?
Nope.
Okay. All right. Ein, you take 13 points of damage.
Sounds awesome.
Garrett, natural 20 and 2 19s. Holy shit. But that's probably still not good enough. So the natural 20 did hit. Okay, Garrett, you take 5 points of damage. Volmir, a natural 20 Armor class is of 8. What's your armor class? You don't have your armor anymore, so.
Very, very low.
Unless you have a dex bonus, your armor class would be 10. I'm guessing you said 8.
Yes.
Okay. All right, so you got hit 3 times. You take 12 points of damage. Kelf. Armor class of 5, 4, 7, and 14.
I have an armor class of 6, so 2 of them come back there.
Okay. You take 6 points of dinkus. Waldor. Armor class of 12, 13, 1, and 15.
1 hit.
5 points of damage. And believe it or not, I have to roll this because you're small. And yes, save versus paralyzation or be knocked down.
Yeah, I made it.
Okay. So, Gaspar. 18, yes. His spell is ruined, and he takes 7 points of damage. Okay, now we go to the loser side of Path, which is everybody but the Elemental. All right, so, and Waldor, your speed is average with the bow. So, Kelf, you're up.
All right. That hits an armor class of -2.
What's your THAC0 with your unarmed strike?
7.
So, you need to roll anything but a 1. So, with your...
Anything but a 1?
Yes. So, with your
Okay.
primary hand, you hit and roll again. Or no, you're not a warrior, are you? No, you're a priest, so you don't get the heroic fray rolls. Okay. So, offhand, roll the hit.
7.
That's a hit. Okay.
0.
So you destroyed 2. And then we go to Volmir. Roll 3 attacks.
-12.
Anything but a 1.
-2. And again, -2.
All right. 3 more go down. Garrett, 2 attacks.
I got a -14 and a -5.
All right. Kelf, your main hand attack again.
11.
Volmir, 2 more attacks.
-0. -2.
Garrett, 4 more attacks. Garrett, 4 more attacks.
Got a natural 19.
Anything but a 1.
-12. Natural 20 and a -2.
All right. Waldor, shoot your bow.
I hit an AC of 1.
Okay. Is that all you did?
So when I pull the bow back, or when I try to use it, I think of hatred and apathy, and I say apathy as I pull it back.
Okay. So you take the bow and you fire it into this ball. It strikes.
Correct.
It strikes the ball.
So it actually worked this time.
Nothing seems to change. Yes, you did manage to fire something out of it.
Okay.
Okay? And Gaspar just cowers in a ball and says, I give up, I give up. And that is the end of the round. Waldor takes a point of fatigue.
Can I get 2 shots?
Not with this
is it
weapon.
just 1 shot with that bow?
Kelf, 2 points of fatigue. Garrett, 3 points. Volmir, 2. And none for you.
Correct. Because I am. Stop.
Did my elemental get a chance to attack?
Roll to hit.
I say, did you open the door somewhere?
17 is what I rolled for the elemental.
All right, so
I don't know if
the
there's any
elemental
power
crashes through, comes in, strikes the ball. Roll a saving throw versus death magic.
Now that's 19 too, so
All right.
I don't know what that makes.
The elemental strikes the ball, and you see it like kind of do this as it bounces off. Roll a saving throw for the elemental.
17.
All right. You realize that your mental control will be fought for if this continues to touch this pure white ball of evil.
Alright, I tell it to leave.
Okay. That is the end of the round. Next round, actions. 9.
Power.
Kelf. Kelf, any action from you?
You're a bit popping in and out, man. I can't.
All right, Volmir, action.
Attack.
Garrett.
Attack.
Waldor.
Attack.
Kelf.
Attacking.
Roll initiative,
And I say,
Garrett.
can you open the door? I'm.
Roll initiative, Garrett. Speed and 8.
2.
All right. Anybody on very fast?
Yes.
Yes. Would you like to go ahead?
I haven't moved.
Go ahead.
There's an 18. And a 10. 2 hits.
2 hits. 9.
Roll the 5. That is plenty enough to contact John. Or, sorry, Gavon.
Okay.
And that is that for that round.
All right.
He's the smallest one, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Volmir. Roll 3 attacks. Actually, roll 4 attacks because you get that free punch. So start rolling 4 attacks.
-2.
Hit. Anything but a 1. Hit.
I rolled an 18 hit.
Hit.
7 hit.
And the last one, you punch one, shatters. Garrett, roll 3 attacks. Garrett, roll 3 attacks.
I'm setting to something.
Oh, okay. Is this before or after you attack?
Before I attack.
All right. Well, let's go to. Uh-oh, there's something. Yes.
That's what I'd like to do.
Well, let me double check that. Let me double check that then, because is there anything about that description?
If I hit the first, I hit all.
No, if it can be used as part of a, that's not the right.
Regular attack.
Did I send you the description on that ability?
Yeah, I'm looking.
Because I think
It says, a warrior with this skill was capable of launching a massive blow that'll extend into a whirlwind of a physical attack to damage every enemy within reach.
does it say anything about it being able to be used in a heroic fray?
In what?
Heroic fray? Let's see here. I can find it.
It just doesn't say, you can't see anything that says about heroes, heroic action. It just shows my area of damage.
We're gonna get overwhelmed by these fucking skeletons if somebody doesn't have like a pool or something. We might as well get food.
All I can say is, there's nothing I can do that can save any of you. Truthfully speaking, I can get out.
I've never used these coins, so I don't know if there's some magic involved with that, where we all make a circle and say word.
Can't you open the door?
There we go. Let's see.
Oh, Kyle, here's what it says. The warrior cannot move or take another action during the round.
Can't you open the door?
An all-around attack.
What part of a C as far as the eye can see?
All right. I found it, Randy. Hold on.
Do you guys not get? Anywhere I go, they're gonna be there.
Okay, it says it right there. May not be used in a part of a heroic fray. So basically you're picking one or the other. You can do that, or you can do, you probably get, it probably kind of does a wash. Although I think you're better off just doing all the extra attacks you're getting, because you're getting a free punch and all that shit too. So theoretically with your shield bash, you should have twice as many with your spear, and then you're getting a shield bash, and then you're getting a punch as well. So you should be attacking like 7 or 8 times around.
He should.
So
Not using his shield bash.
Okay.
So anyway, you guys are now discovering that. How long do you want to keep this up? This conversation's going on in the middle of fighting, so I'm going to allow it. Just so long as you say that you're
Just double checking.
paying attention.
As far as the eye can see,
Yes.
there are skeletons. Alright.
So go ahead.
Actually,
I already said what I had to say.
You guys gonna keep fighting?
Daryl said that he's willing to skip this. I am willing to just kind of skip past because the only thing I can do is save my own skin.
Maybe you're going to do that. I can't. That's why I'm saying I don't. You'd all have to agree.
Oh, I've already died once. I'm
So-
going to do it again.
I don't want to lump you in, but
I know.
theoretically, if you cannot be hit, like if you roll, somebody rolls a 10 for initiative and they roll a 1
I
and you
know.
hit, then you can't get away.
And
But anyway, let's go ahead and finish the round. Garrett, attack.
Negative 15 and a negative 17.
Okay. Volmir, 2 more attacks.
Alright, I'm going to do something for the next 2 rounds.
Anything but a 1. Just say hit, hit if you didn't roll a 1. Hit, hit.
Hit.
Okay. Perfect. All right. Garrett, 2 more attacks. No, you did your 4. That's right. Okay. So, as far as fatigue goes, that's 2 for Volmir, 3 for Garrett, and 1 for Waldorf. Oh, and Kelf, 2. Okay.
I will be doing something.
Next round. Same thing for everyone, or do you want to have a brief conversation?
I tell him my elemental would protect me.
Okay, so at the end of the round, it moves over and protects you. As much as it can from a swarm of skeletons.
I will stand and fight until I am overwhelmed, praying, shouting out praises to Cahoon to guide my strikes and protect my spirit.
All right, sounds good.
Power.
Okay, power, Kelf, action attack, Volmir, attack, or something else.
Attack.
Garrett,
But
Waldorf,
same.
you're gonna shoot the bow at something, attack?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to shoot it at the spear.
Okay. Roll initiative, Ein. Beat a 7.
8.
All right. Anybody on very fast?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
What's the... So, back towards the way we came from, the maze. What's the farthest I can see in that direction?
Well, there's like some hills and stuff, so I would say 200 yards.
That's a good freaking word. I doubt I can make that. So let's go to 150. And we'll see if we can do this. So I have a -8. Means I need to get an 11 or less. That looks like a 6
to me.
So I open a door from right where I'm standing, 150 yards that way.
Okay.
A dimensional door.
All right. So
And I
right in
say-
front of you.
Yep, and I say, there's a fucking door. Boom.
Are you going through it?
Not yet.
Okay.
Wait till the end of the round.
All right. Now we go too fast. It is the skeleton's turn. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead,
I'm
Bill.
actually on here.
Yep, you're up. 2 attacks.
2 hits.
All right. So, skeleton's turn. Okay. So, we'll start with Garrett. Natural 20 hits. Garrett, you take 5 points of damage. Volmir. A miss, a miss, a miss, and a miss. Kelf. You said your armor class was 6, right, Kelf? Miss,
Yes.
miss, hit, miss. You take 3 points of damage. Waldor. Waldor, what's your armor class?
7.
Okay, miss, hit, miss, Natural 20. Waldor, you take 10 points of damage.
This would be a nice time to have combat.
The some of the skeletons pouring in actually get pushed into the door and are gone.
Alright.
And that is the skeleton's turn. So we now go to average. Kelp, you get 2 more attacks.
Two hits.
Volmir, you get 3 more attacks. / punch. Three hits. Garrett, you get 6 more attacks.
There's 2. There's 2 more. And 2 more. Gross roll is a -1.
All right. Waldor, shoot.
Miss.
All right. And elemental attack. Roll 2 hits, 2 attacks.
Roll a 16 and an 18.
2 more. Pow pow. Okay. And now we go to the end of the round. Nobody's moved yet. Everyone gets a half move.
Door's open.
I say, Walter, Gaspar, there's a door, and I run to the door.
All right. So
I run.
I
as
specifically
you
wait
turn
for
and run, you are subjected to. You took down 4, so you're subjected to 2 attacks of opportunity. Armor class of 5 and 5. Hit.
That's 2 hits.
You take 11 points of damage,
Ouch.
but you go through. Zoop. Who's next? Gaspar's in the fetal position. Volmir, you're going to try to go through?
Yeah.
Okay. So how many did you take out? You took out a whole bunch, yeah. So you cleared yourself. They can't move and get you, so you go through. Zoop. Garrett, you gonna go through?
No, I'm trying to get the gas bar.
Okay. And Waldor, you're stuck way over there, and
I am
there's 2
going-
skeletons.
I'm gonna run through and I'm gonna tell my elemental to go through, or to grab Gaspar and throw him through that door.
What's the roll then?
Okay. So Waldor, you are subjected to all the attacks of opportunity. So let's see what happens. Armor class of 8.
That's a mess.
Okay, your armor class was 7, was it?
Yep.
Okay. So 1 miss, 2 miss, a natural 20. And then you run that way. Hit. Miss. Miss and a miss. Alright, so you only got hit 3 times. But you take 11 points of damage, and just as you... Well, that's right, your half move's 3. Shit. So you're stuck there in the middle of these skeletons. I'm sorry. I forgot you're little. So you go 1, 2, 3. That's it. Meanwhile, the elemental will plow through. It is a size larger, so it gets to do a move through. And it gets subjected to attacks of opportunity. And they gotta roll real good to hit it because it's made of rocks. the skeletons seem to be having trouble bone against rock. So they just scratch and claw and they can't do anything. The thing bends down and grabs Gaspar and tries to throw him through the door, with Ein giving the door cover. So, Waldor, roll to hit.
Just roll 20, Waldorf.
Go throw the frail
18.
18. Okay. So with the cover, it's still good enough. So he grabs Gaspar, and Gaspar's like, "Whoa, yeah! Woo!" through. And that leaves Ein and Garrett.
So since Garrett said he was trying to get to Gaspar, can he still move?
Yeah.
Okay.
Then I'll go ahead and move to the door.
All right.
That could totally be a dick.
You go through. You are subjected to none because of all the attacks. You knocked everyone away that was close to you.
When Garrett goes through, I follow.
You, however, are subjected to.
Okay.
All right. So as you go to move, these clawed hands reach out. Armor class of 5.
Nope.
No?
No, I'm an armor class of 1.
I know.
No.
All right.
I have a fantastic armor class for a non-warrior.
And you go through, and now
And gracefully, I keep the door open for the next round. Meanwhile, all of us are stunned on the other side.
Okay, so at the end of the round, we have Ein takes a point of fatigue. Waldor, point of fatigue. I'm sorry, 2 points of fatigue.
Oh, that's actually all that
Kelf.
for this combat round, anyways.
3. Volmir, 3. Garrett, 4. And as many other zombies pile in at the end of the round, five zombies come out as well on that side. And that is the end of the round. Although if I want to be a dick about it, they're not stunned. So each of you will suffer 1 attack, and that's it. So we'll start with Volmir. Hit, armor class of 5. 3 points of damage. And you're stunned, so that's kind of... Okay. Kelf. No dex bonus. I'm sorry, stunned, you get a +4. Your armor class is worse by 4. So, armor class of 3. You take 5 points of damage. Garrett. Armor class of 2. That's a miss. And Gaspar. In natural 20, of course. He takes 3 points of damage. Fine. You were no. You haven't been attacked yet.
Correct.
Armor class of 8. Okay, I think that might be it.
Even if I forego my dexterity, it's still in this.
Okay. All right. Let's go to the next round. Out here, you are apparently the skeletons. I would like Garrett to roll me percentile. Actually, roll me a d20.
Add anything to it?
No, it's just to see how thick the zombies are out here.
Natural 18.
Okay. Well,
Me?
they seem to be pretty thick out here. So,
You said skeletons before. You're saying zombies now, is it?
skeletons. My bad.
Okay.
All right. So, the skeletons seem to be moving the opposite way, and then you go through, and then you're stunned for a round. So, the skeletons basically all gang up on you.
And we're still in the middle of a sea of them, right?
Unfortunately, yes.
It's not like we got to the edge.
All right, and let me make sure I'm doing stun correctly.
I think it's forgive.
I think it's important
I
that
think it's minus dex minus
we do this correctly.
4, or plus 4.
I think it's important we do this correctly.
You should still get your natural armor class, and I believe if you have shields.
Because I have stunned written down in here.
So I got a question. With the core, the expansion and whatnot, the bookmarks, did you have to create your own? Because mine are all funky.
I don't think I created any bookmarks.
Okay. Are they all funky, or are they like actually like chapter by chapter?
The Dorbenghast must have forced Strahd out of his realm.
Because mine are all funky as hell.
He gave him the controlling stone for the army, but then that went with it.
Here's what it says about stun. Stunned creatures drop what they are holding and they cannot take any meaningful actions. They cannot communicate, employ spells, use magical items, initiate psionic abilities, use spell-like powers, fight, or move freely. Movement is limited to 1/3 the creature's current movement rate. Attacks against stunned creatures gain a +4 bonus.
So if we're holding something, we drop it.
That's what it says.
Alright, should be pretty easy, actually a lot easier to hit me and Garrett.
Okay, so you guys go through. You're stunned. You drop everything that you're holding, and you get dogpiled on. So we're going to cut to the chase.
Traveler's dazed and can't attack or move for 1 round after. I don't know if that's different wording or not.
Second edition is rife with things that
Right, have
So,
double meanings.
I've already.
Yep, you're good.
Okay, so let's just start with the girl. Volmir, you step through. You're like, oh shit, I forgot about this. And
I'm good.
here come the attacks.
Oh, maintenance.
Well, that's a miss for sure. Those 3 hit. Okay, and then 2 more. A hit and a miss. All right. So Volmir, on this round, you take 14 points of damage. Master Kel. Your armor class is
6.
and then they get a okay. So hit, miss, hit, miss. So you also received 4 attacks, and you take 16 points of damage. Garrett, you dropped the shield and the spear. That puts your armor class at what?
What's your chainmail?
Shield,
What's your chainmail?
shield is -1 my shield.
He's wearing chainmail and dexterity, correct? That's all that we get? Or do we only get our armor? Do we get dexterity adjustment?
You get your armor.
Do we get dexterity?
Well, it doesn't say, so I guess you do. even though that's weird, but whatever.
Right.
That's
What's
fine.
your dexterity adjustment? What's your chainmail? What's your armor? Not your shield. You don't have
5,
5 with armor. What's your dexterity?
17. So it's a -2.
Armor class 3.
Oh no, it's
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Armor class 3. Okay, so hit. No wait. Miss. Okay, miss. Hit. Miss. Hit. Hit. Miss. So you got hit 3 times for 13 points of damage. Who's left? I'm.
You're trying to hit a 4, armor class 4.
Miss. Miss. Hit. Miss. 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 You got hit for 1.
Just 1
Wow.
6 attacks, 1 point of damage.
And
Who's the god?
Gaspar. Miss, hit, miss, miss, hit. Gaspar takes 10. Okay, he's up to 20 so far. He's looking pretty hurt. You can tell he's bleeding out of his ear.
I'm fucked up.
And Waldor, you're not stunned, but you're kind of stuck. But you do get to go first.
How far is it for me to make it?
3 squares. You can make a run for it.
Or you can withdraw for it.
Technically.
Yeah, if I withdraw, I don't receive any attacks of opportunity, right?
Well, you'd be backing towards other opponents, so
It doesn't work.
that doesn't quite make any sense, and sometimes you gotta make sense. So you wouldn't be attacked by at least these 4 up here. So you would, instead of getting 10 attacks, you would get 6.
If I parry, what does that do?
That means you can't move at all, but you get a minus. Dude, there's something you should be doing, and I can't believe you're not, so I'm not going to help you.
Well, I was gonna I was gonna parry, and then
What's your action? What is the monster's action?
I'm gonna try to control London, just so I can maybe get through there.
And what about the elemental?
I'm gonna tell the elemental to throw me through the door.
All right.
I like this.
So, what do you need? What do you need to control skeletons? I would think it should be automatic at this point.
Yeah, I automatically get 2d6 plus 2d4.
Well, then you need to roll above 10, or you're going to get attacked. So, roll.
$14.
All right. So,
I hold my holy symbol up and I tell them, I command you to protect me!
okay, so these 14 skeletons all around you stop attacking you, and they just stand there.
Alright.
Then some others try to move in, and so the skeletons are kind of fighting each other. So, let's see if any of those attacks get through. Because they're going to try to move past their skeleton friends and get subjected to attacks of opportunity. So we're just going to have them roll off. That's fine. So, that one makes it. That one does not. That one makes it. Well, unfortunately for you, you still get attacked 4 times instead of, you're small, so 1, 2, 3, okay. So only 2 attack then. So the skeletons that are protecting you destroy 5, and you are missed by the 2 that slipped through.
Yes! Oh, that helps.
Okay. Then the big monkey comes over, and they swing at it because it's this lumbering jib-jab. And they miss, and they got to roll a natural 20, and they still miss, and they still miss, and they still miss, and basically it takes you over there and goes zoop and throws you through. Roll a d20. This is where you roll a 1, and you miss the hole.
Oh, no, a 16.
Okay. So you get thrown through. You're stunned, and I need you to make a, yeah, you're just stunned. So you take 5 points of getting thrown like a slam attack through the door, but you come through. You bump into Master Kelp's back leg, and as he looks down, he's like, "Garrett." Waldor's on his back, and he's looking at you, and his eyes are going.
He made it.
Okay. And that round is over. So, we go to the next round. Power. Actions, Kelp.
Attacking.
Waldor, you're stunned this round.
Yeah, looking stupid.
Garrett.
Withdraw.
Okay.
How many, are we just surrounded still?
Yes.
Yeah.
Attack.
All right. What time is it?
5 till 9.
7 2.
Okay.
10 till.
Well, roll initiative.
I have enough PSPs to do this for quite some time. Dimension doors are very easy. It doesn't matter my rolls too.
Okay. On very fast.
I'm very low on PSPs, but I still have enough to do this for quite some time. All right.
I didn't move.
Minus 9. Yeah, let's do the same distance. The dimension door.
Okay, from this distance, you can see where the hill was, the one that you came around to the left to kind of go up. You can see that that's the way that's, if you were to keep going. And back there, Garrett, roll me another d20, but this time, subtract 5.
Roll 1.
Subtract 5.
Subtract 5.
Minus 3.
Okay, what that means is, up on the hill, the last zombies are like at the
Skeletons.
bottom of the hill.
Skeletons.
Are skeletons, and the point that you can see is completely open.
How far away? For numbers.
We'll just go the same.
Same 150 or 200?
Yes, 200.
200. That's a very low roll. Or we can continue messing with this and I have a better odds.
All right, well, it's your turn, so you got 5 seconds.
Yep, 150 yards, as close as I can get to that point.
Okay.
Because I don't think I can make
So
it.
you're not going 200, you're going 150.
Yeah, I don't think I can get that.
All right, well, with that -3 roll, the zombies are 20 feet from this, so you're going 20 feet past the last zombie.
Oh, so that's still, okay, that's still good. Enough for me. I rolled a 7, that's close. But, not close enough. I rolled 1 under my power score. Successful.
Okay. All right, so once again, this portal opens up in front of Vine.
Go through!
All right, and then we go too fast. And you guys won initiative, I think. So, Who wants to go first? I guess Kel.
Start punching.
All right.
Clear pad.
Ooh.
2 hits.
All right. Garrett.
Go through.
Well,
Open it up.
you said attack, so
Okay. Yeah. 1 and 2.
2 plus so go 3.
Minus 11 and a minus 9. And a 0.
All right. Larmer, we'll roll for her. Hit. All right, so she's all done. Garrett, go ahead and attack 5 more times.
Minus 7 and minus 16.
Hit.
Minus 13, minus 3.
Hit.
And a nat 20.
Hit. All right, Kelf, twice more. Or, I'm sorry, another one.
That's a hit.
Hit. Okay. Waldor,
Yes.
you're still stunned.
Yeah. For this round, he is.
All right,
Round behind us.
end of the round. Gaspar tries to go through on his own this time. He's subjected to 6 attacks. Natural 20, hit,
Of course.
hit, and a miss.
So I got a question.
Gaspar takes 10, 14, 16. Holy shit.
He might be dead. Well, Blizzard D6 and
Gaspar, he looks up and he says, I'm almost dead. Zoop. All right, end of the round. What do you guys
Can
do?
I grab Waldor and move?
I think grabbing is an attack. Action.
Okay.
So my answer would be no.
Well, he's stunned. So I cannot make an attempt to pick him up. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, because it's like changing weapons by dropping one and drawing another. You're
All right. I only asked because you said he ran into my room. It was like right there.
I'll tell you what. Make a make a strength check.
I rolled a 12.
And what is that plus your strength?
That is 30.
All right. So by my own logic, dropping a weapon and drawing another, you're dropping nothing and you're drawing Waldor, and then you're moving.
Okay, very good. And
Zip.
go through the
Wrong
door,
person, but yeah.
trying to
And
avoid skeleton.
you do subject yourself to attacks of opportunity, and you struck 3 times, so that leaves these. Armor class of 7, and that's the only one that's close.
Missed.
7's a miss? All right.
Yes.
So you are missed. And you go whoop, and once again, you go through, and Waldor, just as you're starting to come out of your stunned state, you're like, hey, I did, and you're like, hold on, Waldor, and you drop Waldor, because that's what happens when you're stunned. You drop what you're holding, and Waldor goes, that leaves,
Can I pick up my shield on my way
that
through?
leaves Garrett and Volmir and and Volmir will subject herself to attacks of opportunity.
Are you picking up our stuff as we go through? Like our shield that we dropped? Can we?
Did you attack this round? No.
But I went through the door, I dropped my shield. And can I pick it up as I go through the door?
Yeah.
Okay. That's same to Garrett and everybody else.
All right. So just like you guys attacked, you just picked up your weapons and then you attacked. So you go through, you get those attacks. She gets a natural 20 on her and a 17. So she takes 12 points of dinkus. I don't remember how many she had.
I don't remember.
And then she goes through, that leaves Garrett all by yourself.
Picked up my spear, my shield, and through the door.
All right.
Don't forget to do attacks on me, because you didn't.
Okay. Armor class of 4.
Nope.
4. Okay. And on Garrett, they need a natural 20. And they don't get one. All right. So you're through, and you're past the skeletons, and
That one took us long.
that seems like a good place to stop. Are you going to leave the door open? Their zombies are starting to come through.
Skeletons, but no.
Skeletons.
As soon as
Oh,
I
that's
realized
right.
that everybody's
You're stunned.
But didn't we say that I could just drop stuff at will because I just now maintain them?
I'll tell you what. Let's make this at least somewhat interesting. What is your main attribute?
For the power,
Yeah.
Constitution.
Okay. Well, that's dumb. So
Right.
make a
It's Constitution for what
make
should be
a
intelligence.
make a straight wisdom check on a d20.
Okay. 30.
All right. So you've got just enough mental capacity to go, ding, just close that door, ding,
Alright.
and it goes whip, and now you guys are stunned for a round, and then
50.
I would like Waldor to roll me a d20.
See, naturally, you wait till I put the knife.
Kelf, oh, you got it?
20!
All right, so
Let's hope that's good and not bad.
as you come to and you look, you kind of like crawl behind the hill and you look and you see the skeletons all kind of milling about, apparently not coming your way. You have escaped the sea of skeletons and Dorbengast's wrath. And that is where we shall end tonight's game. Well done. Did not think that would happen. But before we go,
Amazing. I did not expect that.
I didn't either.
let
That's
me
why I wasn't doing it.
ask our useless trivia questions, and then we'll send you all on your way to sleeping
I'm glad
time.
you tried the door, Hein.
Didn't think it would work.
As soon as my computer decides to, there we go. Close you. You're good. Okay, let's find that site. Here it is. So, no, shut up. Okay, have I asked this question, and where do you see yourselves in 20 years?
I don't remember.
I guess not. All right, Garrett, you're the leader. Where does your character see themselves in 20 years?
Leader, king of my own kingdom.
Well, you got to dream big, I guess. And what kind of king would you be? A despot or a good king?
I think I'd be a good barkeep.
And will you have lots of kids?
Of course, I gotta raise an army.
All right. Waldor, you're next. Where do you see yourself in 20 years?
Hopefully leading an undead army.
Well, to what purpose?
Mine.
To try to bring back the balance.
Well, if
Forcibly.
there's one thing that brings back balance, it's undead. Didn't they already try
All
that?
right.
Okay. Master Kelp. Master Kelp, where do you see yourself in 20 years?
All right, take it easy, everyone.
You too, Dan. I dream of journeying to the Elven realm and spending some of my late years there.
Which Elven realm?
The Emerald Kingdom.
The Emerald Kingdom. Okay. Well, you know where that is. Very good. And last but not least, Ein, where do you see yourself in 20 years?
I see myself pillaging through an elven kingdom with an evil sword in my hand, murdering every elf in sight because that's what these weapons were created to do.
In 20 years?
I might have already accomplished that by then. I don't know. Probably continuing study of my abilities and trying to pretty much be as powerful as I can.
You guys killed during this just about a minute and a half, you killed almost 100 skeletons.
Wow.
So, there you have it, and there you are.
I'm happy that my castigate spell worked like it did and blasted them out. That was fun.
It did what it was supposed to do. All right. Any last words from anyone? Hearing nothing. Thank you for playing. See you all next week, I hope. And
Good night.
roll them 20s.
I love how
Good night.
see ya. I love how through all of that I only took 20 points of damage.
Sometimes the dice